Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please rise and remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can its last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets echoed, the bombs bursting near, gave proof through the night that a fight was still there. Oh, Satan's that star-spangled banner yet wave, o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem was sung by Melissa Hobson, Jason Miller, and Emma Barstow.
We'd just like to take some time to thank all of you wonderful folks.
Tonight, live from Victor High School, it's the opener of the Section 5 football season, the Teddy Bowl, the benefit for Camp Good Days and Special Times. We welcome you. My name is Gene Battaglia, along with Coach Jim Andre tonight on the call as the Victor Blue Devils kick off the 2019 season against their rival, the Canandaigua Braves. Coach, glad you're with us here tonight. I can't think of a better way to start the Section 5 season here.
Gene, we've got two great teams for a great cause. The excitement is in the air. This is reminiscent of when I first came to Victor 27 years ago, the rivalry between Canandaigua and Victor, although I got to admit back then it wasn't quite a rivalry because Canandaigua usually got the best of Victor. But tonight, I think these teams are evenly matched. We're going to see a great game.
Yeah, it's becoming a new tradition here at Victor High School where on the opening Thursday night, every other school is opening on Friday or Saturday, but placing this on the Thursday night with the benefit for Camp Good Days and Special Times. We saw Aquinas in this game for a few years. Tonight, it goes up a different level when you're playing the school that's right next door.
Absolutely, 100%. You know, you can tell Coach Jeff Welch at Canandaigua, Coach Jeff Mandel here at Victor, these guys want to get after it. I think it says a lot about our programs that both teams, they want to be tested. They want to see where they are, what they got to do to become that team that's playing at the end of the season, and we'll see what happens tonight.
Canandaigua in the navy and the gold. And, that's Victor in the navy and the gold. It's Canandaigua, of course, in the silver and red and white. Let's start first here as we preview both teams here tonight. The Victor Blue Devils coming up just shy of a sectional championship last year, but Victor bringing back a lot here in 2019.
You know, as you look at the Victor sideline, there's athleticism and there's size. And you know what? It's the same thing when you look across to Canandaigua. You know, I know these Canandaigua kids through being multiple athletes. Victor kids are multiple athletes. They're working the weight room. plus their athleticism, I think you're going to see some great football here tonight.
Yeah, as it'll be Knapp at quarterback tonight. What do we know about the Victor backfield here, Jim?
Right now, obviously with James Knapp, he's that tall quarterback. He can see over his linemen. I think you're going to see some drop back passing out of him. And, of course, you're well aware of the 1-2 punch. Rashawn Baker, he's an 800-yard rusher last year. Joey Pesmay, the senior, with 1,000-yard rushing. How is Victor going to attack this Canandaigua line? We're going to find out tonight.
As far
Casey Hera, he is a competitor, and that's what you want as a high school coach. Who's that kid that you practice things all week? Who's that kid that can solve the problems? He can solve the unknowns. All of a sudden you call a certain play. Is this the kid that maybe if that's not the correct play to call, can this kid be an athlete and make something out of nothing? And Casey, he is that kid.
Well, you love it when teams are ready to go. We still have a minute and a half here before kickoff, and yet there's Canandaigua. They won the coin toss. They are ready. They already did the anthem. So let's get in tonight's keys to the game here, Jim, as both teams here tonight. Coach Jim Andre, what has to happen here tonight for victory?
If we're looking at Victor right now, offensively, Victor has got to control the line of scrimmage, okay? That's nothing new. They've got to win the battle up front, and Victor has got to stay diversified. They can't stick with just the run, just the pass. I think the coaches are going to mix that up tonight to try and keep Canandaigua on their heels.
How about this? We're going to start a little early. You upset with that? 6:58, ready
let's
for
go.
kickoff
I'm ready.
tonight. Glad you're with us here as you're watching the Section 5 football game of the week. Varsity Media Sports Network, Gene Battaglia, Jim Andre, and thank you for finding us here. Give us a follow, too.
We're going to see how well he can come upfield, and he's got a great supporting cast around him.
4 wide, Seth Vigneri will be the single setback as Herod will give to Vigneri, making one cut, and there is not much there. Only back to the original line of scrimmage. Clogging up that lane, Michael Bowman, the defensive tackle. So a good start here for the Victor defense.
I like the way the Victor defense did not read it. They just went forward and they attacked, which is what they're going to have to do if they're going to be successful versus Canandaigua tonight. This is not a reading game. This is a get-after-it game, and I think they did a good job with that.
That's Connor Williams, 6'11", 390 at the tackle position. On second and long, they're going to go back to Vigneri, and this time he is going to be tied up. Not much there. Maybe one on the play on the far side.
I think Canandaigua did a really good job. If you notice, they've got 4 wide receivers, 2 guys split on each side, so it's a very wide formation. And what they're trying to do here is open up that middle so they can get that running back some yardage up through the center.
Hay with the tackle for Victor. This will bring up 3rd and long for the Braves. 3rd down and 8 at their own 22. Herod rolling to his right, throwing on the run. Has a man, and it's caught, and that's going to be near the marker, and it is inbounds. Good enough for the first down. On the near boundary, that'll be number 2, Sam Bennett. First down for the Braves.
You notice they move the chains. And remember, folks, regarding offense here at high school, you've only got to get 1 foot in, and he definitely had that 1 foot in. The chains move, and the Braves are at it again. It's like a no-huddle formation, Gene.
Call it a gain of 13, 1st and 10 here for the Braves as they convert on that 3rd and 8. Herod out of the shotgun, and once again the draw play and a broken tackle by Vigneri, spinning his way forward across the 40 and up to the 42-yard line. That's a gain of 8.
I like the way Vigneri kept his legs moving. He was wrapped up. We had 2 initial tacklers in there with Sasso, and all of a sudden that kid kept his feet moving, and I thought he got some great yards after that first initial contact.
They will give him 9 on that play. Opening drive here for Canandaigua, starting at their own 20. Now it's up to the 43. 2nd and short. This is where you may take a shot through the air, and there's one of those early season penalties we were talking about there in the pregame show, Coach Andre, and the snap count. And that's a big penalty. Now you go from 2nd and 1 to 2nd and 6.
That's a huge penalty, Gene. I agree, because the 2nd and 1, as a coach, you've got choices. You can even take that long shot at the end zone because if you miss it, no big deal. You've still got 3rd and 1. Now it's that 2nd and 7. You've got some decisions to make.
Back him up to the 38-yard line on this new turf that went in here at Victor. This went in the spring. And first time the football team is on it. 3 wide here on 2nd down and 6. A fumble, and so a busted play. Herod's going to try to make something of it and he'll lumber forward for maybe 2. The best of a bad situation, I suppose, and then it'll be 3rd and 4.
Once again, it's those first game jitters. We had a false start the previous play. All of a sudden now we snap it. The center puts a little bit too much on it, and the quarterback's got to catch that ball. Sometimes the quarterbacks take their eyes off the ball because they're trying to read the defense, see where they can go with it.
J.C. Clifford will check in as the extra wide receiver here for the Braves on 3rd down and 4 at their own 40. They converted on 3rd and 8 earlier in this drive. Herod takes the snap, play action, rolling right. He's under pressure, throwing on the run. That's going to be caught, but it is only back to the original line of scrimmage. Out of bounds, this will go. Good coverage by Victor downfield with the coverage. That's number 2, Timothy Cohen. And a punt coming up here for the Braves.
We saw it already. Penalties are drive killers. If you want to be that team that you want to be, you got to keep those little things in check because those little things are big things. No penalties is the key to success in this game.
Joey Pezzamenti will be the punt return. Does a lot for this Victor team, so special teams could be big here for either team. Pezzamenti to return this. He's got his heels on his own 29.
Joey's a very athletic kid in the open field, so we'll see if he gets that ball, what does supporting cast can do for him in blocking.
Nice high punt, and Pezzamenti is going to let this one go. So some good hang time, and it flips the field position. Now is Matt Verheil with a punt for Canandaigua, and it'll be our first look here at the Victor Blue Devil offense. With 8:43 remaining here in the first, there's no score.
You know, it's amazing. We've already seen, a lot of plays run with Canandaigua's, I don't know if I call it a no huddle, but really a quick huddle. They don't really get in a huddle and break it. They're calling their plays right on the sideline. Let's see if Victor can match that tempo, see if they want to move that ball quickly down the field.
Quarterback is James Knapp here for the Victor Blue Devils, and he'll have 4 receivers at his disposal on first down and 10 at his own 28. Knapp out of the shotgun, quick throw, left side, it's intercepted! Picked off by Canandaigua, that's Verheil. Verheil, far side, 20, 15, and he's tripped up. Matt Verheil dropping into coverage, and a big play there for the Canandaigua Braves.
I noticed the Blue Devils had 3 receivers to the left side. When you do that, the good news is you can send those guys down the field, but you got to realize there's going to be a Canandaigua guy waiting there in the flats, and he was. I thought the Canandaigua defense did a great job being in the flats, waiting for that play.
Verheil with the interception and the touchdown-saving tackle at the 8-yard line, and now the Braves knocking on the door with 8:37 remaining in the first. The quick change here.
Gene, when I see this situation, I'm thinking opportunity. Opportunity for a stand, opportunity for a touchdown. Right now, let's see what team can take advantage, see if Canandaigua can take advantage of that momentum.
Ball on the far hash as it'll be Verheil. No, the play action. Hera on the keeper. Hera trying to make a cut, makes one man miss, and then gets a back across the 10. Victor is saying the ball came out, but the official right there pointing to the ground.
I think when you look at Casey Hera, you can see his athleticism in the open field. He made that first Victor tackler miss, but then all of a sudden he got closer to the goal line because he is that athlete that can make things happen.
Ball down to the 5, so it'll be second and goal from the 5 after the gain of 3. Sam Bennett checking in. He'll be in the slot to the left. Vigneri remains the tailback. Nice bright play clock here at Victor. It's down to 9 as Herod sends a man in motion. Giving the end around, faking the end around and keeping it himself, and a flag coming down.
Canandaigua spreading out the Victor defense with 4 wide receivers. You saw the guy going in motion. The quarterback fakes the handoff and tried to get straight ahead, but the Victor Blue Devils did a great job of sniffing that out. Their ability as a defense to close in on that kid was outstanding on that play.
Here's the call. A face mask going against Victor. So this will still keep the down here as we're at 7:48 remaining in the first.
Unusual in a high school game having people in the end zones. Here at Victor, right now, Canandaigua is going into the end zone with their own student body right there in the end zone they're going towards. A little extra energy for the Canandaigua Braves down in that end of the field.
It is a great atmosphere here tonight. The benefit here for Camp Good Days and Special Times. Glad you're with us here on Varsity Media. And now they're going with a power formation. 2 fullbacks.
2 tight ends, 3 backs in the backfield.
Vigneri will get the call. Vigneri makes one man miss. Plowing to the end zone. He's cut down. In on the tackle, Alec Russell, number 7.
And the linebacker, Joey Pezzamenti, he did a great job scraping across. Him and Russell together. Outstanding job collapsing on that Canandaigua drive. Perfect.
So now it's 3rd down and 3. And this will be the 4th play run here inside the 10-yard line after the interception by Verheil. Here will be the call once again. And cut down once again, short of the goal line. Now if you're Canandaigua, what do? Do you take the chippy field goal attempt, or are you going to at the worst case scenario, then you're pinning Victor back here.
I'm thinking Canandaigua's going for it, because even if they don't get it, Victor would have to start on their 1 yard line. Looks like they're going to take a timeout and think about it, Gene.
All right, so we'll take a timeout as well, as we have no score in the first. 4th and goal from the 1 when we come back. 6:33 remaining in the first. You're watching Section 5 football here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Well, you think about when we're cold in the month of November at SUNY Brockport, and that's where every team wants to go. You think of a beautiful night like tonight. Here it's the season opener here on September the 5th. Gene Battaglia, Jim Andre here with you as now Canandaigua. They will go for it on 4th and goal from the 1. Hera, the quarterback, he's going to keep it himself toward the end zone. He's in. Touchdown. Touchdown, Canandaigua. Hera, you could tell by his body language, Jim, he was going to keep it.
Absolutely, 100%. You could tell he's going to get that quarterback sneak. He had his 1 foot drop back, so all of a sudden when he received that snap in his hands, you knew he was just going to drive forward, have faith in his center, had faith in his left guard and his right guard to just get a push. They did a really nice job with that.
Extra point here will be attempted by number 5, Jackson Neiman. Actually, Neiman will be the holder here for Matt Verheil, and it's only apropos that Verheil will get a chance to get a point, seeing that he had that interception to set this up. Verheil, the extra point is up and good, and with 6:28 remaining in the first, it's 7-0 Canandaigua. I don't know if you're a Buffalo Bills fan or not, but in the days, long before the days of the turnover chain and that sort of thing, Marv Levy, whenever a Buffalo Bill would get a takeaway and then that the Bills would go in for a score on offense afterward, he would go up to that defender and say, "That is your touchdown." Well, for Canandaigua, Matt Verheil, that was your touchdown, dropping back into coverage and getting that interception.
100% agree. Verheil can take the excitement of his team, carry it forward, put it on his back, and keep the momentum going. That's what Canandaigua is going to need to do to be successful. Hey, Victor, they've got to bring things together, and I'm sure they will. This is a game of momentum, and right now Canandaigua's got a little bit of that. The Victor Blue Devils have a chance to answer right now, get some good field position, and I think they can make things happen.
7-0 our score after the extra point was up and good. 6:28 remaining here in the first. The Teddy Bowl, the benefit for the Camp Good Days and Special Times. So it's good to see some of the campers on the field for the coin toss as well.
What an exciting atmosphere. Just, me being a teacher in the high school, seeing the high school kids walking around wearing their jerseys today, just the atmosphere throughout the building, throughout the day. The kids were so excited for this game. And right now you can see it. We have a full stands across, full stands in front of us. Even the end zones have students. This is just, this is the place to be on a Thursday night.
Russell and Pezzamenti here to return. Russell, number 7, Pezzamenti, number 34.
Well, Alec Russell, his brother, Andrew, is actually playing at Michigan right now. He walked on and played lacrosse there, and he's now walked on and made the Michigan football team.
It's funny how, these names, if you follow Victor Athletics, you recognize year after year. And Pezzamenti just getting tripped up, and I'm telling you, if he doesn't get tripped up there, who knows where that ends.
I think you just saw one of Joey Pezzamenti's special talents. He got the ball, he recognized the seam. That seam closed relatively quickly, but he recognized it. You saw him plant his left foot and head right for it. So it's Joey Pezzamenti's vision that I think can help get this Victor team back on track.
So last pass attempt didn't go so well for James Knapp. We'll see what Jeff Mandel opts to go for here on 1st and 10.
Well, with 4 wide receivers, 2 guys wide on each side, you can definitely see Victor is believing in spreading out that aggressive Canandaigua defense.
Shawnee Baker is the tailback on 1st and 10 at the 34, and the play action. Knapp with time. Knapp lofting it, has a man down the seam and just through the hands of the intended receiver. That was Trevor Knapp right down the left hash, incomplete.
I thought that was a great adjustment on Victor. If you notice, from what I could see up here, it looked like Canandaigua was in a 3-deep zone. What do you do versus a 3-deep zone? You send 4 guys deep because that means someone's got to be open. You're putting a lot of stress on your free safety in the middle of the field. So I thought that was a great call by Coach, and also I thought that was a right read by James.
Russell will be to the near boundary. 2 tight end set here now on 2nd down and 10. Man going into motion as Knapp screen pick. Clears near side. That's going to go to Russell. Russell gets a short gain, maybe 1 on the play. On those tackles, Nathan McLean in on the tackle for the Braves.
I think that shows Jeff Mandel's belief in his players' athleticism, because what you want to do in a bubble screen, you want to get that ball to the player's hands, give him a little space, and let him go one-on-one. And they did that, and Russell had some moves there and got a little bit of yardage.
3rd down and 9 for the Blue Devils here at their own 35. The pitch going right side as Baker Dow cutting it up, lowering the shoulder, trying to get to that marker. It's going to be close. It is going to be close. I think the second effort he got it. Fans are getting up.
Rashawn Baker did a real nice job moving his legs. You saw the tight end holding his block a long time. It looked great.
That is a big play for Shawnee Baker, the running back, the junior at 5'10". First down up to the 45. 5:33 remaining here in this first. It's Canandaigua leading 7-0.
It's never easy calling plays as a coach, but when you got Rashawn Baker, it's never a bad decision to give him the ball, and I thought that was a great decision.
Knapp, play action. Knapp dropping down. He's going to flare it out to Baker. Baker makes one man miss. Baker first down, and Baker will get it up to the 41-yard line. Baker with a gain of 14 and another Victor first down.
It's no secret. The Canandaigua Braves, that front 4 defense of them, they're aggressive. They're fast. Sometimes you see linemen are big, heavy guys that don't move. These front 4 guys are coming up the field fast, and so Victor's looking for that little 5-yard seam.
So Knapp now 2 of 4 for 16 yards here with the interception. Knapp is going to throw again, this time on the run once again. He's going to find Russell, and Russell will get out of bounds, and now you're seeing the Victor offense get into a little bit of rhythm. That's a gain of 8.
Gene, I agree. They had 1 receiver to the left side. They had 3 receivers into the boundary. What you'll notice is that Russell did a real nice job of finding the open area. Sometimes receivers in high school just want to run like a deer. Running is great, but you got to find the open area. That's how you get the ball.
2nd down and 3, and the playbook is wide open here for the Blue Devils. Pezzamenti is the tailback. Man going into motion. And getting the call on the end around will be Trevor Knapp, and he'll be close to the marker. And are they going to motion it?
Again, that wide receiver sweep, it indicates that Victor is trying to spread out this defense. They know how good that Canandaigua defense is and how quickly they close in on people. So they're trying to spread them out. That's their best means of attack, and it's working right now in the second drive for Victor.
Down to the 31. I would take it this is 4-down territory here,
Absolutely.
Coach? Okay, so that was 3rd down and 1. James Knapp, will he keep it himself? No. He will hand it off to Pezzamenti, and Pezzamenti gets what he needs to. He needed 1, gets 2. First down again for the Blue Devils.
And a good offensive drive, Gene. Offensive plays complement each other. Earlier in this drive, they put a back in motion, handed the ball to that back in motion. This time right here, what you saw was a back went in motion, but they gave it to somebody else up the middle.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line. 7-0 Braves as we're nearing the 4-minute mark remaining here in the first. Baker is back in the backfield, and we're going to have a Victor player jumping. So this will be the second penalty tonight on Canandaigua. Said Victor player, it is actually, I beg your pardon, Canandaigua jumping offside.
Looks like encroachment. 1st and 5 is a great place to be as an offensive coach. It gives you just so many options, especially when you're down here inside the 25-yard line.
Second penalty tonight on the Braves. 1st and 5, as you mentioned, Coach. Knapp out of the shotgun. Play action. Knapp in the pocket, throwing deep. Man, end zone, touchdown. Touchdown. Throwing to Trevor Knapp. Knapp to Knapp. 3:53 remaining, and now Victor is an extra point away from tying this up.
We've got that brother-to-brother connection. You saw that receiver. He's running that post pattern. What you're trying to do is get the inside leverage on the safety. James read it, and there it is. Beautiful pass. Right where it needed to be. Led the receiver. And we've got a touchdown for Victor.
So James Knapp on that drive, 4 of 6, 48 yards and a touchdown. That's shaking off the interception.
Absolutely. We talked about momentum. We talked about energy. Here the Victor team is. They scored a touchdown near their own fan base in their end zone.
Castiglia the boot right through the uprights, and we are tied. 7-7 with 3:53 remaining in the first. We'll have the kickoff coming up next. A short break here. You're watching the Section 5 football game of the week on Varsity Media Sports Network.
You know, this game to us is special because of Camp Good Days and the kids were able to help.
It's for something bigger than just the game. These kids, they go through a lot more than we do, and we want to make it the best experience for them and everyone else.
Playing in this game, it's more than just playing for football. It's playing for these kids that go through a lot more than we do, and we're just happy to do it and hope a lot of people come out and it's a great game.
It's great what Camp Good Days does for the bigger picture for these kids. It's just great time all together.
It's a huge rivalry that's been there for a long time, and it's great what Camp Good Days does for these kids and what they really do for us.
This game just means a lot to us. I mean, it's more than just a game. We really appreciate it.
We work obviously to win a game, but to have him on the sideline and come to a practice and get to participate a little bit, it's bigger than the game a little bit. But you know, obviously we want to win, but working with Camp Good Days has been.
Kickoff coming up here for Victor. 7-7 is our score. We have 3:53 remaining in the first. And this is not going to be run out right into the end zone. Gene Battaglio with Jim Andre, four-time state champion for the lacrosse team. So congratulations, another great season for you. And you know, lacrosse season never ends here, Victor, I suppose.
It really does. We played a lot of box this summer, a lot of box lacrosse. We'll be doing some indoor stuff at Pinnacle. But you know what? I still encourage my kids to be a multi-sport athlete, and I see a lot of my kids out here playing football tonight. Also over there to our left in the soccer field, there's some of my lacrosse kids over there too.
Yeah, that is great. The complex here at Victor, you guys do things right, certainly.
All the lights are on. I wouldn't want our electric bill tonight.
No. As here will be the keeper by Herod, and I'm not sure if that was the design play or not, but it's going to be just a gain of one.
You know, having Sam Castiglia kick that ball deep in the end zone, special teams coach for Victor, Sean Rucker, said, he goes, yeah, my favorite kickoff is just kicking into the end zone, not even worry about the coverage with all those outstanding Canandaigua athletes ready to catch the ball.
J.C. Clifford will check in here for the Braves. He'll be in the slot to the near boundary. Hayward, the receiver, to the near side. 4 wide on 2nd down and 9. Man going into motion. And getting the call on the end around, it will be a flag down, however. We'll see if this is coming back.
You know, it's interesting, Gene, how both coaches are recognizing the athleticism on the field. And so what you're noticing both coaches are doing is they're trying to spread each other's defense out. Right there, you saw Canandaigua. They're running the ball, but they're doing it with 4 wide receivers.
And this is one of those drive killers, if you will, the holding call on a positive gain for the Braves.
And that's a spot foul, as you know, so that's going to move that ball back quite a bit.
With those Victor students right in the end zone. Boy, the atmosphere is tonight. What other atmosphere do you have fans on all 4 sides of the field here tonight?
Yeah, it's exciting. Yeah, Canandaigua backed up. You're looking at like 2nd and over 20.
Often that's going to be broken, running up and then nearly broken, and another flag coming down as on the carry, Dominic Comella. We'll see what the flag is on the far side.
The official threw it right at the spot.
And judging by the Canandaigua body language, this is not good for them. Now, does Victor have the option of declining that, or is that automatic, Coach?
Oh, they want to accept it. They could decline a holding, but
you want to back them up as far as possible.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because once you start getting inside that 5-yard line, you're looking at a possible safety here, depending on what they're doing.
Well, now it's backed up to 5. This is 2nd and 20. So we go from 2nd and 20 to 2nd and 25. And now a question regarding the spot here is official on the side here, and they're going to do this all over again and mark it back.
You notice Victor went to a speed rush front. You know, big Connor Williams, outstanding job at stopping the run. Looks like they brought in some quicker guys up front to try and put some pressure on the quarterback of Canandaigua.
Well, we had a quick start with the opening couple of drives here, but some penalties have slowed things up here. Now down to 3:01 remaining in the first as the sun begins to go down here in Victor. 7-7 is our score. If you're just logging on, it was Verheil's interception that set up the Hera 1-yard touchdown, nap to nap, and the 24-yard touchdown. Here's on a long down and distance, and the throw to the inner side across the 25 to the 26. So that's some big yardage, and then a flag coming down really late on that. Reception by number 2, Sam Bennett.
Looks like Victor dropped into that 4-deep zone, which is not surprising, considering the yardage that they needed. And I thought Canandaigua did a really good job of finding that open guy near the sideline.
So they reversed the call on the down and distance. They actually called it against Victor, so that was 3rd and 15. This is short of the first down. However, what is the penalty here? And again, there's more discussion on this. And they will give
Dead ball unsportsmanlike.
That's on the hit, correct, Coach?
Yes, looked like it was out of bounds. Didn't look late, looked like it was out of bounds. I couldn't tell because we got that whole Victor bench in front of us. And it's a pretty big bench with like 56 kids on the Victor team. That's exciting. A lot of kids want to be a part of this football atmosphere here at Victor.
So they'll call that a gain of 12 on the pass, and when you tack it on. So Hera today, 2 of 2 for 25 yards. And what was a precarious position here for Canandaigua, being backed up deep in their own end. Now not looking so bad. Ball up to their own 43-yard line with a 1st and 10.
And it's a long drive for Canandaigua.
Now the end around is going to Bennett. Bennett once again, and like you said, this is one way to tire out a team when you're going a lot of east-west here.
Yeah, Canandaigua does a great job of running lateral, but you notice the Victor players are doing the right thing. They're keeping that outside arm free. You hear coaches say it all the time, keep that outside arm free, string out the play, the sideline's your friend.
Ball up to the 45. We'll call that a gain of 3. Austin Kayward will be the receiver to the near side. In the slot will be Matt Verheil. 3 wide. On 2nd down and 8. Herod, the handoff. Close to the marker. No, it'll be cut down short. Dominic Camella up to the 50-yard line. So that's a gain of 5 to bring up 3rd down and 3.
Camella did a great job using his vision to see that hole open up near the Canandaigua's left tackle. He just had some great explosion through the hole.
Ryan Welch will check in as an extra tight end here on 3rd down and 3. Ball resting on the 50-yard line. Herod out of the shotgun. Takes the snap. Delayed handoff. Handing right up the middle. 1st down and more. And bouncing off a tackler is good enough for a gain of 8. 1st down for the Braves as this is the 3rd time they've converted on 3rd down tonight. Dominic Camella with the gain of 8.
Camella's doing a great job of getting past the first level. The first level, we're talking about, Victor's front 4. Once he gets past that first level, he makes a great cut to the outside, and that's where he's finding some yardage.
Well, Jeff Mandel is calling timeout here. Or actually, I thought it was a timeout. It's actually Pesamenti who's coming off. So this is related to, you hope nothing serious here.
Well, Joey's one of those linebackers that, he closes in fast. He comes up, lays down those big hits, but you got to make sure we're doing it in a safe, controlled way.
So Pesamenti walking over to the bench. 1st and 10. The snap, and here's the little screen to the right, and that's dropped. Anticipating the tackle coming in on the far side. Incomplete.
As a quarterback, when your coach calls for that screen wide side of the field, you better make sure you get a good deep drop. Because, Gene, as you know, that's got to be a forward pass, so if he drops it, it's incomplete. If he didn't take that good quarterback drop and threw it lateral or behind him, you're in trouble because that can be considered a fumble.
2nd down and 10, and going into motion once again will be J.C. Clifford. That was Joey Urlacher. Not securing that football. That stops the clock with 1:24 remaining. Snap, play action. Herod lofting that one. Nice touch. That'll get it across the 40, and then cut down to the far side was Verheil. And with the tackle for the home team, Trevor Knapp, who has a touchdown tonight, well, there's a nice defensive play to bring up 3rd down.
Sometimes the most difficult guys for a high school defense to guard are the guys coming out of the backfield. Usually when receivers are split wide or they're a wing, they're accounted for. That kid sneaking out of the backfield, they're sometimes tough to pick up. Canandaigua's taking advantage of that.
3rd down and 6. We're under a minute to go here in the first quarter. End around and picking up a block there and getting close to the marker, but getting short. Didn't reach it was Verheil to bring up 4th down. And this is not going to bring it to the quarter. So
I think they're going to, yes, I agree. They're going to get a snap off. Number 22, Shea Newell, he read that really well. He closed in on it fast, used his athleticism. Yeah, the kid slipped away, but it was Shea's initial contact that slowed that Canandaigua guy down.
Jeff Welch at this point in the game will not risk it here. He will punt it at the Victor 35-yard line on a 4th down and 3. Maybe take a delay a game here to give themselves a little extra room. The play clock is at 2, is at 1, so Canandaigua intentionally taking the penalty, so their third of this quarter. And that'll stop the clock with 4 seconds remaining.
4th and 3 inside your opponent's 35-yard line, Gene. That's a tough call as a coach. Sometimes some guys are going for it. Some guys want to play it conservative. Maybe punt this thing in the corner and give Victor some challenging field position.
Yeah, the day and age, if you're going up the ranks there, they would say against that. But at this point, Jeff Welch knows his team. Here's the punt, and this is going to be angled to the corner. And that will die out inside the 20, right at about the 18-yard line. That'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. Entertaining first quarter here before a packed house in Victor. Canandaigua 7, Victor 7. You're watching Section 5 football on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Interested in sponsoring a live stream broadcast? Varsity Media Streams offer tremendous visibility for your business. Contact us today at 866-577-1950 for rates and packages.
We are in the second quarter, 7-7 Victor and Canandaigua, 10:48 remaining. As what we missed, we had a first down run by James Knapp. So funny where Canandaigua punted. This is essentially where Victor has gotten the ball back to here as we're in the opening minute here of the second quarter.
Gene, I'm impressed by both teams, their ability to sustain drives. Really, in a high school football game, it could be going back and forth. I think each of these teams doing a great job of managing the clock, trying to keep their opponent off the field.
James Knapp out of the shotgun. He's got Baker. Baker's going to come to the right. Now a busted play as Knapp is going to motor forward across the 40 and up to the 41 for a gain of 3.
Big James Knapp is showing some athleticism there. If you'll notice, that Canandaigua defense, they are coming across that line of scrimmage. They're coming across fast. And one problem with that is sometimes you have a tendency to over-pursue. If Canandaigua's going to be successful, they got to get across line of scrimmage, and then they got to break down.
Knapp going over to the sideline. Victor breaking their huddle. 15 seconds remaining on the play clock. Trevor Knapp to the near boundary. He's got the Victor touchdown tonight on 2nd down and 7. Knapp takes the snap, hands off to Baker, and Baker will dive forward, and they'll mark him just shy of the 45-yard line. We'll call it a gain of 4 to bring up 3rd and short.
Victor's famous for that formation. They've got 2 tight ends in the game. They got 2 wide receivers out here to their left. The good news is with 2 tight ends, you can run at it, but also by having those 2 wide receivers and a tight end on the one side, that's really trips, which is 3 receivers, and you're seeing Victor try and take advantage of that.
The good news here, Pezzamenti is back out on the field. He was shaken up earlier on defense, so Pezzamenti, here is one of the wideouts on 3rd down and 3. Actually, Pezzamenti lined up here in the fullback in the backfield, and he'll now drop back, catch this ball. Pezzamenti, first down, 50, 45, 40. There he goes! Joey Pezzamenti will take this. Galloping into the end zone, 55 yards for the touchdown.
Gene, exciting stuff right there. You saw Canandaigua coming up the field quickly. We just got done talking about that 2 plays ago, how aggressive those front 4 of Canandaigua is. Victor made him pay. The screen play is a great way, to take advantage of that. You've got that front 4 defensive line rushing You've got the quarterback for Victor, James Knapp. He drops back. He sees Joey Pezzamenti open because of that rush. It turns into a touchdown, and here we are again.
What a weapon to have Joey Pezzamenti just kind of almost disappear in the right flat in that formation, and then he's gone. And with that, James Knapp has gone over 100 yards here in passing in this first half.
You know, Gene, you look at Joey Pezzamenti, you think of him as that interior rusher. Right there showed his athleticism and his diversity to get outside and make a catch.
Kick is up, and it is good. 14-7. Victor leading Canandaigua. We'll keep it right here as Canandaigua started the scoring early tonight. It was Verhaal's interception, and then I think, what was it, 4 plays run within the 10-yard line. Hera converting on the 1-yard touchdown run. Canandaigua led 7-0. Then a nice drive is Knapp to Knapp. It was James to Trevor, 24 yards on the post pattern, and the extra point was up and good, 7-7. And in the second quarter, just moments ago, Pezzamenti, 55 yards on that middle screen, taking it and getting around the corner, and there was nobody there in the third level, so to speak, to track him down. And now Canandaigua, first time tonight, they're trailing by a 14-7 score.
You know, Gene, I think Victor's doing a great job keeping your face mask up. Right there, you know, Canandaigua scores first. They're on the board very easily. You know, with an interception that James Knapp started with, it could have snowballed into a bad thing. But you look at the Victor sideline, a lot of face masks are up, a lot of, hey, clapping, let's get this thing together. And we got a great football game.
Now it's Canandaigua's turn to get a nice long drive here going.
You know, Sam Castiglia has had success kicking it deep. You'll notice Canandaigua, you know, deep. They've got their heels right on about the 1 or 2 yard line.
Mm-hmm. Castiglia has hit the end zone a couple times tonight. Here's one that's going to be just shy, and that's going to be returned going forward. Left side. This is 21, Dominic Camella. Camella across the 50, 45, 40, 30, 25, 20, 50, 10, 5, touchdown! Bank it for Canandaigua, and the Canandaigua student section going wild. 95 yards on that return by number 21, Dominic Camella.
Gene, when Camella caught it, he just turned the jets on. He looked for that seam, and then you go for it. Coaches always tell our kids, listen, if you get that ball in your possession, don't dance, make one read and go for it. And then all of a sudden, things started opening up. You saw that seam open, and he hit it hard.
Wow, that is one way. And you really can't, we're talking about, you can't expect your place kicker to hit it into the end zone every time for a touchback on that.
Wow.
It was, so that is just some great speed there by Camella.
I'm sure Victor's kickoff team is going to regroup. They're going to, reemphasize, keep it on your inside shoulder. Canandaigua, they're going to rally around each other. Hey, they're in big games, you got to make big plays, and you can see Camella did it right there. Looked that ball in, that one cut, gone, hit the sideline, and he had a great angle.
Look, the play clock is only down to 2-1. They get it off, a rushed attempt, and it's going to be good nonetheless as the play clock was down to 1. 8:56 remaining. Back and forth game. This is what you want in the season opener. Great crowd and some big plays. And that time the 95-yard run, the return by number 21, Dominic Camella.
And you know what, Gene, we got to identify those front kids in Canandaigua. When they dropped that kickoff return, man, those guys got right near each other. You saw those Canandaigua kids break down, all of a sudden find a Victor kid, take that Victor kid where he wanted to go. That created the seam, and Camella was up the sideline and gone. We got a 14-14 game. We got an exciting one here, Gene.
So Victor, let's talk about James Knapp, too, because James Knapp, the night couldn't have started any worse for him. A pass that he didn't see in the right flat that was left flat that was intercepted, not returned for a touchdown, but all the way back to the 8-yard line. But since then, he's done a great job at decision-making, putting the ball where it needs to be.
Athletes gain confidence when you put the ball in their hand. When he threw the interception, they put it right back in his hand. He also did some read option type things with the ball, so he was all of a sudden running with the ball a little bit, and just him handling the ball, it helped build his confidence.
So it'll be Pezzamenti, one of the two returners for the Blue Devils to our right. Alec Russell being the other, number 7. 8:56 remaining here in the second. 14-14 score as Russell at his own 10. Can Russell do the same thing? Russell doesn't have much in front of him, and he'll be gobbled up at the 22-yard line. So Victor going back on offense here in a tie game.
You know, Canandaigua did a great job in that kickoff coverage. Those kids stayed in their lanes. They filled. You know, Russell really didn't have much to work with. You know, he tried to hit that seam, and it just wasn't there. I'm interested in this series, Gene, to see, you know, did that screen pass to Pesimini, will that slow down that front four of Canandaigua? We're going to see here.
Well, the question is, if you're calling plays, Jim, when you go back to that, you know Victor will try that once again.
Gene, I just throw it deep. You know, it's real simple for me. You know, hand off here and there. I'm just airing it out.
Here's James Knapp. He's going to be under center, and this time the receiver end around. We've seen a lot of the end around tonight. Trevor Knapp here trying to bring her wide, and there isn't much on the end around this time.
You know, looks like a possible holding call. You know, end arounds are great, and I think it's a great way to diversify our offense. You know, everything you do in football, there's positives and negatives. The only negative about an end around, you're asking your linemen to hold their blocks that much longer, and when you hold your blocks that much longer, it's that much more tempting to get that holding penalty.
Of course, here at Section 5, they will not announce the number here, but that will back it up all the way to the 10.
I'm interested to see what Canandaigua does here. You know, do they drop back conservatively in a deep zone, or do they pin their ears back and try and get Victor while they got him on their heels? And Victor once again is spreading out the Canandaigua defense with 4 wide receivers.
The odd down and distance after the penalty is 1st and 23. Here's Knapp airing it. Oh, it's deflected off the hands a little high. A very dangerous play as Russell couldn't bring that in. That ball was hanging in the air. It falls harmlessly incomplete.
You know, 2nd and 25, the slant, it's going to be there. You know, when you're 2nd and 25, that's a lot of green grass to work with, and you're hoping to hit that slant. I thought the safeties for Canandaigua, you know, did a really nice job, you know, converging in on that. It looks like number 5, Jackson Neiman, is right where he needed to be.
Out of the shotgun, 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Here's the handoff on the end around, and there won't be much there. So this will bring up 3rd and long.
You know, once again, offensive tackles from Victor. We got to hold that block if they're going to be successful. I like the defensive ends for Canandaigua. This number 8, Ryan Welch kid, does a real nice job of keeping his outside arm free and squeezing down that tackle.
3rd and very long here. And we'll see if Jeff Mandel, who gives the play right directly to his quarterback, James Knapp, who brings it back into the huddle. And Victor to break the huddle, getting up to the line with 8 seconds remaining on the play clock. Play clock now at 4. Knapp takes the snap, and he'll hand off. Baker breaking 1 tackle. He'll be rustled down by the jersey. Getting it across the 22 and up to the 23, and the Canandaigua defense does a nice job, but also aided by that holding penalty as kind of stalling out that Victor drive.
You know, Gene, I think the Canandaigua defense did a great job breaking down on Rashawn Baker. You know, if you're going to stop Rashawn, you're not going to do it one-on-one. You got to swarm to the ball, and I think Canandaigua did a great job of that.
Nathan McClain along with Sam Bennett, so 2 receivers, returners back here for the Braves.
You know, in high school football, I'm always a fan of when you punt the ball, I always tell my kids, they echo it. You punt it at an angle. The best return is no return. You know, you punt this thing down the numbers, you might just get a great roll.
Timeout called by Victor with the play clock winding down. This will be their first timeout. It'll afford us to step aside as well. Our score, Canandaigua 14, Victor 14. You're watching Section 5 football on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Back here at Victor, our score 14-14. Punt coming up here for the Blue Devils. 2 returners back at the 38. Canandaigua will get a good punt off, and that will be at the 42. And nope, I thought it was no fair catch, and indeed. Well, I'm wondering if what the call is here, because I did not see.
It appeared to be a fair catch by number 17, Nathan
McLean. Yeah.
Yes, and then number 9, Trevor Knapp, looked like he came down the field. It was clearly a fair catch signal. I wouldn't say that Victor kid Trevor hit him really hard, but he definitely put his hands
hit
on
enough,
him.
yeah.
Yeah, and in high school, that's going to be a penalty. Or the penalty could be if you make a fair catch and try and advance the ball. Nope, it's against Victor.
Well, one of those, we talked about the jitters, and for a special teams player too, and you're doing different plays, and you practice this a bunch, but you're under the lights now, it means something.
Gene, you got to add up a couple factors. Number 1, the teenage brain. Okay. Number 2, add adrenaline to that, and then all of a sudden, those things sometimes happen. As a coach, we just got to get them dialed in. You learn from it. You don't make the same mistake twice, and you move on. Well,
Canandaigua is going to have great field position as a result. They will start off here in Victor territory, 1st and 10 at the 43. Casey Hera, he's been hasn't gone deep yet here really tonight.
Gene, he's doing a great job of giving of taking what Victor's giving.
And here will be another flag on the far side, and it's going to be a motion penalty. Actually, no, I beg your pardon. It's going to be an offside against Victor. So the second penalty here in as many plays here for the Blue Devils.
I didn't see it as encroachment as far as moving. I think maybe they just lined up in the neutral zone. As we know, nose and nose of the football, neither team can be in there. I think Victor got a little close on that one.
1st down and 5. So Verheil will be in the slot to the right. Herod will operate out of the shotgun on 1st and 5. Verheil going to motion. The design keeper and 0 there. Good job of clogging up the middle, and that is number 21, Camden Hay. Hay coming back this year and not allowing anything to go right up the gut.
It was interesting. Canandaigua tried to get that double team on 6'11", 390 Connor Williams, and they just didn't get any motion on him, so it caused that Canandaigua back to stop, redirect, and when he did that, Cam Hay was all over him.
That's a loss of 2 on the play. Make it a loss of 3. 2nd down and 8. 6.5 now remaining in this second quarter, first half. 4 wide receivers. Herod out of the shotgun, takes the snap, plants, throws, looks left. That'll be caught on the far boundary, and that's going to be good enough for the first down. J.C. Clifford just getting across the marker, call it a gain of 9. The Braves' drive continues.
Gene, you can see those defensive backs for Victor. They're very concerned with the athleticism of the Canandaigua receivers. That's why they're giving them that 8-9 yard cushion. Canandaigua recognize it. They throw what we call the little bubble screen out there to the far wide receiver. Canandaigua kid makes the catch, gets that first down.
Herod tonight, very conservative 3 of 3 for 34 yards for the Braves unofficially through the air. We're at the midway point now of this second quarter. Urlacher will be in the slot to the right, and a whistle.
That gives them a chance when you see that Canandaigua team looking to the bench, looking for direction. It's not what they wanted. Victor's obviously in the right position. We call that timeout.
Canandaigua will use a timeout. Now they have 1 remaining. 14-14 our score. Canandaigua and Victor, we're in the second quarter. You're watching Section 5 football on the Varsity Media Sports Network. See, Jim, it's not easy to talk to somebody when you're not looking at them, right?
I think in the spring I'll coach from up here. I can be up in the box. I got a great view. We can talk, and I can just let my assistants take over.
Well, did you see the Liberty coach? I'm going to coach from my hospital bed up here, and then
there we go.
Yeah. Opening night here. After the timeout, it's 1st and 10 at the 31. Canandaigua getting a great start to this drive, picking up a first down as Hera. Play action. Now we'll swing it far side. That'll be caught, breaking a tackle and getting close to the marker. No, still on his feet. Good enough for the first down and more. Goes number 21, Dominic Camella. First down again for the Braves.
Canandaigua was over there on their left hash. They sprint the quarterback out towards the middle of the field. It's the wide side. As a defense, you're concerned about two things, the wide side and where their quarterback's going. Then Canandaigua goes in and throws back towards their own sideline for a big gain.
Well, that's the biggest play tonight of 16 yards going for the Braves. 1st and 10. 4-4 right now, Hera for 50 yards through the air. Hera takes a low snap, and he's going to hand it off on the end around. Flag, this is likely coming back usually in the area of holding.
Gene, we've addressed this already tonight. These plays are outstanding. Both coaches are going to them because it is a successful play. You see the pros run it, college, even here in high school, but you got to really emphasize to your offensive linemen, listen, it's going to take a while for that running back to get there. You got to hold your block without holding. You got to move your feet and get in position.
J.C. Clifford a little shaken up here as he's kind of limping off. And so we got an official timeout on top of the penalty that's going to go against the Braves. So in place of Clifford, Sam Bennett will come back out on the field, number 2.
This is a huge break for the Blue Devils. Right now when you're 1st and 10 on the 15 as opposed to being back here on the 25, that gives your defense some significant breathing room. It allows your defensive coordinator to do some different things with the guys up front because you know that Canandaigua is going to have to be airing it out a little bit here.
At the 25. Four wide receivers, as now here will be the snap, and a direct play to Hera. Does not go anywhere. Gain of 2 on the play.
As a defensive coach, you're always talking about linebackers. You got to flow. You got to take your 45 degrees. Sometimes, in high school, the linebackers want to flow laterally. That time, I thought our linebacking core did a great job of taking their 45 degrees, stepping up and hitting that runner, as he was hitting the line of scrimmage.
Michael Bowman with the tackle for Victor. 2nd down and 18. Herod rolling to his right. With time, throws on the run. Is it going to be caught? No. Going off of the turf. Incomplete. Pesamenti in coverage for Victor.
You talk about Joey Pesamenti getting into coverage. As a linebacker, you want to stop the run, but quite often you've also got responsibilities for the pass game out in the flats, and I thought Victor's linebacker, Joey, did a great job of getting out there.
4:36 remaining here in this first half, and now it's 3rd and very long. 3rd and 18 at the 23. You got to get to the 5-yard line to keep the drive going.
Talking about the lineman here, number 72, Michael Bowman, is doing a great job of getting upfield. But also, Canandaigua's, Dan Coffey, number 70, is a right tackle. Great feet, getting his hands on people.
Man going into motion, faking the end around, whistle before the snap, and it's going to be a delay of game. Play clock went to 0. And it's kind of tough for the Brave, for any team going this end of the field as the play clock is behind them, but got to be aware. So we go from 3rd and 18 now to 3rd and 23.
And looking here, you wonder what you're going to see out of the Braves. You got a long ways to go. That front 4 of Victor is aggressive. They're keeping big Connor Williams in there, 6'11", 390, to stop that run game. But they got Michael Bowman with the rush coming up the middle.
Verheil will be in the slot to the right. Bennett goes into motion. 3rd and long, going toward the end zone, left corner, and that's going to be out of bounds. Is it in? No, out of bounds. Acrobatic attempt on the far side to make the interception that went out of bounds.
I thought he almost kept a foot in here. With 4th down and long in this situation.
That's close. I'm asking our producer, Joel Bethazer, is that in or out? What do you think? Yeah, he's saying it's out.
He's saying out of bounds. This goes on the white line.
Great work for our crew here tonight on Varsity Media. We got a lot of people walked on tonight. People are hungry for Section 5 football. They're going to go for it on 4th and 23. Here's Herod. Herod, end zone, going up. Urlacher, that's out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
Not a bad call, but just the throw is offline, and now Victor will get a chance here. Lots of time, 4:22 remaining here in this first half.
I think Coach Jeff Welch, that's the right call. You're in the position, throw it to the end zone. You never know what you're going to get as a penalty. Obviously, in high school football, if there's a pass interference, it's only a 15-yarder, but still 15 yards and a first down would certainly help. It was the right call. Let's see if, Canandaigua can stop, Victor Blue Devils, who've been, I think, coming along. They're finding themselves offensively.
Yeah, we'll see if this is going to be Baker's time here. Canandaigua defense cannot take any rest here. And here's the razzle-dazzle. The reverse, and that's going to be caught down.
Hey, this point in the game, trying to make things happen, I thought the defensive ends for Canandaigua did a great job of what we say in football, hit and sit. If you're the defensive end and the ball's going away from you, you want to be that guy that you hit, you sit, and you wait for something coming back to you. It doesn't happen a lot, maybe 2 or 3 times a game, but you need to be there for it, and he was.
Yeah, so Alec Russell, no gain on the play. Not fooled was the Canandaigua defense. 2nd down and 10 at their own 28. Knapp will be under center. Knapp pitching to the right side to Baker. Baker across the 30. Baker goes! There he goes! With the speed, 40, 30, 25, 20. Bank it. This is going to go 72 yards. Johnny Baker, 72 yards for the touchdown.
And what made that exciting is for the true football people who are watching, not just Rashawn's run, but you watch the Victor offensive lineman who pulled from the right side to give that overwhelming student body to the left side, and all of a sudden Victor had more blockers than Canandaigua had tacklers, and Rashawn Baker is running to the end zone.
Now Baker's family right in front of us here, and they knew it. As soon as he turned the corner, nobody was going to stop him here. So this loud Victor crowd here tonight as the Blue Devils go back on top. Extra point attempt to make it a 7-point lead. It is up, and it is good. 21-14 on the 72-yard run by Shawnee Baker. We'll take a break. You're watching Section 5 football on Varsity Media Sports Network.
AM to the PM, PM to the AM. Eat up your DM, you just gotta hate them phone. If I quit your PM, I still rock with Sadie's phone. If I quit this season, I still be the greatest. Be on move. Sit down. Be on move. Sit down.
The Teddy Bowl, the benefit for Camp Good Days and Special Times. Gene Battaglia, Jim Andre here tonight. And tonight it's been the big play. We've gotten 2 big plays out of the Victor offense. We've gotten Camelo with a big kickoff return. And remember, the last time Victor went up by 7, what did that last for? In 9 seconds maybe?
Right. The interesting thing is both teams, Victor and Canandaigua, have big play capability. Sometimes you get those grind and pound teams. Without a question, both these teams can grind and pound. But they each have that element of that quick burst of speed out of an athlete that can quickly turn a short run into a touchdown.
Sam Castiglia, who's hitting on all the extra points tonight, and he's got a couple of touchbacks here to boot. We'll try to do it again here for Victor. Castiglia is going to just kick this one short, and this one, here's a chance, but this is going to allow the special teams to get in their lanes, and nothing there this time for number 21, Dominic Camella.
Gene, that was good placement of the kick out of Victor. Last time when you kick it deep, all of a sudden that kid runs it back. A little more conservative approach by Victor to make sure we don't, kick that ball deep into the hands of their athletes with room to run. You kick that thing over here to the numbers, it's like having a 12th guy on the field tackling when it's near the sideline.
So it'll be Herod out of the shotgun. And staying in there will be Camella as the running back. 4 wide receivers. Herod will hand off to Camella. 2 hands wrapping up that football as he'll squeeze through the middle of that defense across the 25 and up to the 27 for a gain of 5.
It was that churning of the legs. It was that good forward lean that turned into what should have been, a 1-yard gain into a 5-yard gain. That was a great effort from Canandaigua.
Canandaigua with 1 timeout remaining here as we're nearing the 3-minute mark remaining before halftime. 21-14 is our score. The snap. And faking the end around, keeping it himself. And Hera will get a nice gain of 7 on the play to get the Braves first down.
That's that quarterback read. You know, you're reading what your guys up front are doing. You don't want to keep your eyes, on the running back. You want to keep your eyes on the front line to decide, okay, do I hand it off or do I keep it? And obviously he made the right decision there.
Clock starting back up. We're down to 2:40 remaining. Bennett going into motion. Now the screen going the opposite end, and this is going to come back because the flag is down in the backfield. So this running by Dominic Camella probably all for naught here. Tough break there for the Braves.
This is when you don't want to have penalties. The Braves are down by 7. You want to go into the halftime. There's a big difference between going into halftime, as far as, okay, we're down by 7 or the game is tied up. So, the Braves would like nothing more than to tie this game up on this final drive.
It will be Victor, by the way, to get the kickoff in the second half. That goes, that's a 20-yard swing there, essentially.
Again, holding calls, 10 yards from the spot. It's just a significant penalty.
3 wide, Herod. This will be 1st and 20. Herod trying to get on the outside, and Pesamenti will help him string it out. Knocked out of bounds by Alec Russell.
Again, defensive ends have got to stay at home. I'm looking at the tackles, the lineman here for Canandaigua, number 78, this Cody Aikey. He's doing a great job getting his hands on people, moving feet. Victor's got to answer by having those linebackers slow.
Second down and long here, as you got to get it up to the 44 line of scrimmage here, being the 26. Second down and 18. On the run, Herod throwing across his body. Dangerous play, and that's going to be intercepted. Intercepted by Russell, and now Victor is in business on the ill-advised pass. Russell with the first takeaway tonight for Victor.
Gene, I love the sprint out. Sprint out is always a great thing. The downside with the sprint out is you're showing the defensive backs where you're going with the ball. All of a sudden, we had corners there. We had the safety coming over. Victor flooded that area. Russell was able to catch the ball, break on it. It's a huge play for the Blue Devils.
And now Victor in business. 1:53 remaining after the interception. Ball is on the 33-yard line. Baker will be in the backfield.
This series can determine a lot.
James Knapp has a touchdown pass tonight. And long call. This could be they're going to call the encroachment. So a good hard count there by the Victor quarterback.
It's nice to see kids at the high school level not just going on the same count. You've got to use that snap count. You got to influx your voice and try and get those defensive guys to jump. And it happened right there. 1st and 5 is much different than 1st and 10. Gives you a lot more options.
Victor with 2 timeouts remaining. And once again, it'll be under center, James Knapp. Knapp pitching it to Baker. Baker following his blocker, and Baker will be pretty much at the marker, and they're going to give it to him. Gain of 6, that's a first down.
Rashawn did a great job picking up the first down. He also did a great job of reading the blockers in front of him. Sometimes it's a high school back, you just want to hit that hole 100 miles an hour. I thought Rashawn settled it on his second step. He saw his lineman get in front of him, and that looked really good.
Clock will be moving here on the first down. 1:35 remaining before halftime. Victor is up by 7. They want to extend that lead. Now we have a stoppage here. And that's something from upstairs that's bringing in Joe Harushuk, the offensive tackle now on the right side. Here's the pitch to Baker. Rashawn Baker. And he'll get knocked out of bounds across the 20 and down to about the 18-yard line for a gain of 4.
I'm seeing great things out of these Victor linemen. Mitch Reisig, number 58, he's a guard. He's not one of these oversized kids, but you know what? He's doing a phenomenal job getting his hands on people and driving his feet.
Well, there is somebody that is not in the game that's in shorts that is down on the sideline. Oh, I beg your pardon. That was a player, actually. That is a Canandaigua player that was shaken up on that play. That's 51 Dalton Boylan. So Dalton Boylan now takes his helmet and he'll come across the field.
Yes, high school rule or rule anywhere in football. If your helmet comes off, you got to come out for a play.
1:14 remaining before halftime.
You know, these Blue Devils are relying on those guys up front to get a push. The backs are making that one cut going. They're having success with it.
Here's the snap. Knapp looking end zone. Throwing deep corner. And out of bounds. Good coverage on the far side by Nathan McLean. Really doing a good job, number 17.
Yeah, I agree, Gene. He was right there with him the whole time. You know, sometimes those little fades to the corner, sometimes that post corner route, it's tough for a corner to be there. But, you know, he got his hips around. It was great coverage by the Braves.
3rd down and 5 here. So this is a big play for the Canandaigua defense, needless to say. Trying to hold this to a 1-score game before halftime. And Canandaigua defense telling the student body, trying to pump them up.
You know, it's tough. You're going right into that end zone, you know, that's with the Canandaigua Braves in it. Their fans, it looks like a timeout.
And, yeah, Victor with 2 timeouts are going to use one of them. So with that, we will take a timeout as well. With 59 seconds remaining here before halftime, Victor leading 21-14. You're watching Section 5 football on the Varsity Media Sports Network. A lot of big plays if you're just logging on tonight. We had the Pezzamenti 55-yard touchdown. We had Baker's 72-yard touchdown. And for Canandaigua, Camella 95-yard touchdown on the kickoff return.
You know, Gene, a super exciting game, outstanding atmosphere, and the fact that all the money raised is going to Camp Good Days, it just makes it even better.
Yeah, absolutely. The Teddi Bowl, it's called, as now it'll be under center. And going into motion, Napa's under center on 3rd and 5. Pezzamenti getting the call. Pezzamenti lowering the shoulders. Second effort. It's going to get him close, and I think he's got it.
You know, Gene, I love the jump cut. You can see when the running back, Joey, is behind his lineman. He sees a seam. It's like that 2-foot takeoff jump cut, and all of a sudden they get the first down. You know, Canandaigua's got to pin their ears back. They got to send some people here. I wouldn't be surprised if they blitz a linebacker or two.
So with 1 timeout remaining, we're down to 44 seconds and counting. Knapp takes the snap. He's rolling left on the run. Throws toward the end zone. That's knocked away. Beautiful defensive play, getting his shoulder around. Sam Bennett, number 2. What might have been a touchdown. Canandaigua comes up big on defense.
Sam Bennett wrapped him with one arm for Canandaigua, and then he batted away with the other. That was a textbook play out of a corner. Beautiful defensive play. And the ball was thrown where it needed to be. It was just a great defensive play.
Stops the clock with 38.4 remaining. 2nd and 10 at the 11. Are you even trying to run play here?
You know, it's one of those things. You got to take what they give you. And right now, I think passing is obviously a good idea because it stops the clock.
Baker is the running back. They're going to pitch it to Baker. Baker with a head of steam. Baker gets cut down inside the 5, and his helmet pops off too. And that's going to be kind of a break, sort of, I guess. It's not going to stop the clock. I thought it was going to stop the clock. I beg your pardon.
You know, sometimes as an offensive coordinator, you got to look at your play. You got to look at your play sheet and you wonder what you're going to call. You know, when you've got kids like Joey Pezzamenti or Rashawn Baker with the ability to just make something happen out of nothing, it's never a bad call giving them the ball.
So that is an official timeout by Victor, and so now they're out of timeouts. 24 seconds remaining, and it'll be 3rd down. 3rd and goal from about the 4.
You know, Gene, I'm expecting Canandaigua to come up in press coverage. Sometimes as a corner, you want to be like that 5 yards off. I can visualize Canandaigua being right up there, right in the guy's face, trying to prevent that slant pass.
3rd and goal. Camp Good Days and Special Times, the beneficiary tonight, nonprofit organization dedicated to improving the quality of life for children. What a great cause here tonight. Great crowd is now on 3rd and goal from the 4. Knapp will be under center. Pezzamenti will be to the right here in a flanker position. Now he's going to go into motion, and now it's almost like the NBA. Now Canandaigua will use their last timeout. Okay, we saw what you want to run. Now we're going to set it up ourselves.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. You saw where Victor had 3 receivers to one side. They put Joey Pez on the other, and you could tell right away at the timeout call, looked like they were going to put Pez in motion, running to the overloaded side. Well, will Victor run that again, or are they going to go back to the playbook and try and find something else and give them a unique look?
3rd and goal from the 3. Joel Bethazer, our director tonight, keeping us on our toes. VarsityMedia.com. We invite you to check out the website, VarsityMedia.net. Give us a follow on social media at Varsity Media. All right, so one thing I can say for certain, Jim, no more timeouts. Both teams out of timeouts in the first half. And when do you see that in a high school game, especially here early in September?
Gene, we're seeing a chess match here. And when you're having a chess match, coaches going back and forth, you're going to want to use those timeouts to get your guys in the best position to make a play.
So Victor's going to come out in the same formation as Knapp. Will send Pezzamenti in motion, and Pezzamenti razzle-dazzle to Russell. Russell, it's the Philly special into the end zone. Incomplete.
You saw Joey Pez ran left. He flipped the ball to Alec Russell running to the right. Alec Russell, again, he's an athlete. He's running there. It's kind of that Russell has the opportunity to tuck and run. He couldn't because Canandaigua defense did a great job stringing it out, and they also did a great job covering it. It's tough to score when you're on the goal line because you got that man-to-man coverage. Sometimes people call it cover 0.
It's going to be a field goal attempt is coming out after the Miss Philly special. Sam Castiglia with the ball spotted at the 12. This is a 22-yard attempt to give Victor a 10-point lead. Snap is down, kick is up, and he drills it. So Victor will take the 3 points, 24-14.
And you know what, Gene? Field goals in high school are big because they're rare. So this means that generally, unless Canandaigua's got a great field goal kicker, they've got to score twice, to catch up to the Blue Devils tonight.
Yeah, 22-yard field goal to make it a 24-14 game. Boy, James Knapp, he almost was this close to being Nick Foles out there catching that ball on that razzle-dazzle play.
Yeah, it's fun to see the creativity because, sometimes when you're on the goal line, like I said, cover 0, it's man-to-man, you're going to want to have that kind of creativity on the field.
So now, if you're Victor, I think Castiglia has one assignment, and that is, do not kick the number 21 Dominic Camella here.
And I think special teams coach Sean Rucker drew it up on the whiteboard. It says right there, kick it to the end zone. That's what he's looking for.
So we've got 15 seconds remaining before halftime. And booting this one away. Once again, 64. Castiglia booting that and playing it safe here. That's going to be K-Ward. K-Ward getting knocked down. 10 seconds remaining.
That was a great open field tackle for Victor by number 9, Trevor Knapp.
Trevor Knapp playing some special teams. Got a touchdown tonight.
He is a fast athlete in space, and that's what you want on special teams.
So, Coach, I would think this is just one play, take a knee here, but it doesn't look like that. It looks like they're going to run
Depends on your style. I'm throwing it, Coach. Right, Gene, you might as well take a shot at it.
Yeah, 10 seconds remaining at their own 25-yard line, and here will be the handoff. And this will be Camella on the far side, breaking a tackle. He'll duck out of bounds. That took 6 seconds. Good enough for the first down. This is why I'm up here, Coach.
Well, you've got the soft zone back here. With 3 guys very, very deep. It's like, okay, with 4 seconds left, we'll let you take your 10, 12 yards. That's okay because that doesn't count on the scoreboard.
Casey Herod is going to have one last shot here with 4.2 seconds. The quarterback takes the snap, and he will hand off. And once again, it'll be Comella, and this time he's bottled up. And we go to the half. So Victor down a couple times here, and they are now leading by a 24-14 score.
You know, here, Gene, it's about how do you respond? And I think the Blue Devils have responded, and I'm expecting the Braves to respond in the second half. I think this game is going to be close. It's really going to be about ball control.
Well, we will step aside, so just kind of keep tabs here. We'll be back in 15 minutes as we will take a break for halftime. And then coming up, the third quarter, it's the Teddi Bowl live from Victor High School. As our score once again at the half, Victor 24 and Canandaigua 14. It's our game of the week. Section 5 football on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
think for us as a program, me personally, I think I gained a little perspective when we visited Camp Good Days this summer and spent some time with the staff and the campers.
It's just important to know that we're playing for someone else other than us. It's a greater cause than just us.
I got a chance to visit Camp Good Days, see everything they were doing there. The positivity, everything was great. Should be good to get out there and play for good cause.
I'm really excited, to celebrate some kids who weren't as fortunate as us. A big chance to celebrate them.
After hearing Mr. Mervis talk, the number 48,000 kids he's helped in 40 years, it's a privilege to be a part of that same thing, playing football for it.
He gained some perspective on what this game truly is about and how special an organization Camp Good Days is for all the people that are involved and how many people it helps out. And that's what makes this game so special for us.
This game to us is special because of Camp Good Days and the kids were able to help.
It's for something bigger than just the game. These kids, they go through a lot more than we do, and we want to make it the best experience for them and everyone else.
Playing in this game, it's more than just playing for football. It's playing for these kids that go through a lot more than we do, and we're just happy to do it and hope a lot of people come out, and it's a great game.
It's great what Camp Good Days does for the bigger picture for these kids. It's just great time all together.
It's a huge rivalry that's been there for a long time, and it's great what Camp Good Days does for these kids and what they really do for us.
This game just means a lot to us. I mean, it's more than just a game. We really appreciate it.
We work obviously to win a game, but to have him on the sideline and come to a practice and get to participate a little bit, it's bigger than the game a little bit. But obviously we want to win. But working with Camp Good Days has been a great experience for us.
We've been ready to play the game. We've been working hard since the last game of last season. Good luck, and it'll be fun. Thank you.
We welcome you back here tonight to Victor High School, the Teddy Bowl. Big crowd here on hand, big plays we've had here tonight. 24-14 our score. Victor leading Canandaigua. Gene Battaglia with Coach Jim Andre here on the call tonight. We can see just how many people are watching here tonight, but Coach, you got a text, somebody very special watching tonight online.
Gene, it's true. I got texts from everything from, my son down in South Carolina, all his buddies, to kids in West Virginia, former players, to, my wife giving me the thumbs up. But another really special text, Ryan Maloney. This was one of my Victor lacrosse standouts. Ryan Maloney, 2016 graduate, All-American here, really set the bar for players to follow. Great kid, suffered, a spinal cord injury, as many people in the Victor area know. I just got a text from him. He's in the Victor area. He just sent me a text saying, thumbs up, great job, Coach. And that's the stuff, as a coach, it just fills your tank as an educator. Just to have those connections from kids in the past. And Ryan, I know he's doing great, Ryan. I'm thinking of you, buddy. So is the whole community. We're all pulling for you. And I can't wait to see you back here on campus, just to give you a big hug and say hello.
Yeah, so Ryan, thank you for watching here tonight. Thanks to everybody for watching. So we take a look at the stats here tonight, and so it just a matchup. But the stats here, when we're looking at the quarterbacks here tonight, I think a storyline here tonight is James Knapp. James Knapp, his first attempt, an interception that nearly went for a pick six by Verheil. But following that, Knapp tonight, 5 of 7 for 103 yards, plus the 55-yarder included in that, the Pesamenti screen, and 1 touchdown.
Gene, it's also a story about maturing. Last year, James Knapp, the sophomore, did not have a stellar game. I think he had 3 completions for like 37 yards. You look at last year. And then all of a sudden you get to that junior year maturity, And now, you see, and the maturity shows. You throw an interception, okay, you flush it, you move on, and now all of a sudden you come out and you make the plays you have to play. And remember, as a high school quarterback, I don't need you to be outstanding. I need you to be consistent, because that's the key to be success in high school sports.
Yeah, and so for Canandaigua in that first half, a good half, a good start, 4 of 5, 50 yards, but an interception that ended up setting up a field goal at the end for Casey Herod. So for Victor right now, they're going to get the ball to begin the third quarter. If you're Canandaigua, you got problems here. You got Shawnee Baker, you got Pezzamenti, you got multiple things to worry about on this Victor offense tonight.
I think Canandaigua's in a position of let's make things happen. When they go on defense, I think they're going to pin their ears back. You're going to see some aggressive rushing up front. Of course, you've got to kind of spell that, because Victor can make you pay if you rush too much by running that little screen pass. Casey Herod, he's an athlete. And as a coach, you want athletes on your team. Athletes are the kids that make plays when you're not expecting a play to be made. So is Canandaigua out of it? Not by any means. I think we're in for another exciting half.
Tonight, the benefit proceeds tonight benefiting Camp Good Days and Special Times. And this is a foundation that was founded by Gary Mervis in 1979 following the diagnosis of his youngest daughter, Teddi. Since then, over 48,000 campers they have served, 22 states from 36 countries, all coming to the Finger Lakes. And this is something that really the Victor community, Victor football, Victor athletics has embraced this season opener.
Camp Good Days, it's just one more reason why it's great in upstate. We sometimes forget, with the winter weather, it's not the best place to be sometimes in January, February, but it's that sense of community you have here in Victor, here in Canandaigua. Get these teams together, supporting Camp Good Days. It just shows you that, this is a community you want to be in.
It will be Victor to get the opening kickoff. You know what I loved about the first half? The kickoff was scheduled for 7. Both teams are ready to go. Let's kick it off at 6:58. So right now, some warm-up time. Both teams have taken their warm-ups, and we're just waiting for the officials to get it going here. And it will be Victor to receive to our left.
Gene, it's going to be a game of halftime adjustments. As a coach, you love getting in there at halftime, getting on the whiteboard. But remember, sometimes as coach we make a mistake. What as coaches know is important. Guys, it really isn't. What do your players know? Okay, yeah. You can know everything, whether it's it's football, lacrosse, softball, hockey, whatever it is. It's great what you know as a coach, but what can you convey on your players to get them ready for this second half?
So it'll be Canandaigua to boot this one away. Number 4, Matt Verheil.
I'm kind of nervous here. I keep looking at these Canandaigua players, and I see their athletes all over the field, and I also realize a lot of them will be running around this spring with a lacrosse stick in their hand. And as you can imagine, that kind of concerns me, because I'm just seeing the level of athleticism they have. So I hope my players are seeing that, so we know we got to work for some stuff in the spring.
Yeah, you're always thinking like a coach here. So.
I can't help it. Yeah. It's my clipboard, and I still got the whistle on my neck from practice today.
Jim Andre, Victor Lacrosse, 4-time New York State champions. Section 5 a hotbed, and nothing hotter than Victor Lacrosse. Here is the end-over-end kickoff that's going to be caught by Pezzamenti. Pezzamenti, 25, makes a cut and gets it up to about the 30. Pezzamenti, a little slow here. That he went down kind of awkwardly, but he hops right back up.
Gina's coaching, we're teaching our kids on the kickoff, keep the running back on your inside shoulder. I thought Canandaigua did a really nice job of that, kind of funneling in. Joey Pezzamenti looked for that seam. It just wasn't there.
On the far boundary, Trevor Knapp, who has one of the touchdowns tonight, a 24-yarder. So 2 touchdown passes tonight for James Knapp. The other touchdown coming on a 72-yard burst by Shawnee Baker.
I think right now, Gene, it's going to be about sustaining drives, letting the clock run. We'll see if Victor can do that now.
Stacked receivers, the handoff going to Baker between the tackles. And there isn't anything there.
Well, you can see one adjustment right now. Canandaigua has creeped up their linebackers. You can see the D tackles taking that inside shoulder. They want to make things happen at the line of scrimmage. We talked about that as one of our keys to success for Canandaigua. You want to get to Joey Pezzamenti or Rashawn before they get to that line of scrimmage, and the Braves did a good job of it there.
J.C. Clifford, 6'5", 220, clogging up the middle there. No gain on the play. 2nd and 10. Ethan Roberts will be one of the receivers. Trips right here on 2nd and 10.
Here goes the Blue Devils spreading things out.
James Knapp, play action, throws over the middle, and that's going to be off the hands of the intended receiver. Crossing pattern going underneath. That was to his brother, Trevor, now 3rd and long.
Linebacker for Canandaigua did a great job seeing the crossing patterns, picking it up. You know, it's no secret. You drop into a zone, but then you got to transfer from zone to man-to-man. Once a guy comes into your zone, you're now guarding him man-to-man. And again, the Braves are doing a great job of that tonight.
James Knapp going over to his coach, getting the call, coming back into the huddle here on 3rd down and 10. Can the Blue Devils pick this one up? Again, stack receivers, Baker the lone setback. Snap, play action. Knapp throws, man open, and that is going to be off the hands, stripped at the last second. That's a great breakup made by number 10, Brian Boldrin.
You know, Boldrin for the Braves. Again, these Braves defensive backs are doing a great job of timing it. You know, people want to pick off the ball, people want to make that big tackle, but in reality, you've got to time up the hit, you've got to time up the play in the ball so you don't get that costly pass interference call. And again, the Braves defensive backs are answering.
Boy, so Canandaigua forcing the 3-and-out, something they needed to, down by 10 here, 24-14. Victor with the advantage. Bennett deep back here to return this punt. That's going to be short. Bennett is going to have to back off from it, and it's going to take the Victor roll, and that will go all the way down to the 25-yard line. So not a bad punt. On the 45-yard net, 10:49 remaining in this third quarter. Victor leading by 10.
Opportunity. You know, this is opportunity for Braves to get back into the game, but it's also an opportunity for Victor to make a statement here. You know, for them to control the game, for the Victor to get a 3-and-out. Okay, that's what they're looking for to kind of, you know, let the Braves know, send that message that Victor is in control of the game. They're not quite there yet.
Austin Kaywood to the near boundary. Bennett will be in the slot to the near side. Casey Hera, the quarterback, sending a man in motion. That's Verheil. Verheil will get the end around. Verheil hops over a man. Verheil keeping those legs moving, and that's a hard-fought 4 yards for number 4, Matt Verheil.
You know, I like the position of David Kelly, the defensive end for Victor, but you gotta remember, as a defensive end, you gotta hit and sit. Sometimes these Victor defenders are over pursuing the ball carrier, and they're able to cut underneath. That's putting too much responsibility on your linebackers.
Ryan Welch will check into the game. 2nd down and 6. Herod play action with time on the right side, checking down, and that's going to be Verheil, who's cut down. Short gain on the play. Good open field tackle on the far side. I believe that's Kahane, number 2.
Yes, Timmy Cohane, great athlete in space, made a great tackle. The Braves have got to understand where the chains are. You know, an out ball is a great pattern to run, but you got to gain depth as you do it.
3rd down and 4. So Canandaigua in the early parts of this game with some success converting on 3rd downs. This was 3rd and 4, makeable down in distance. Herod is going to hand it off to the delay stutter step, and that is just some good running, patient running there by number 21, Dominic Camella, to pick up the 1st down.
You know, Gene, I think you nailed it. It was that stutter step. You know, you got to take that slight pause, see where your lineman is, see where he's taking that defensive lineman, make that cut, and that was critical, and it was a great read, and it got the Braves a 1st down.
Up to the 37-yard line, 1st and 10 as the Braves continue this drive. Herod takes the snap. Quick bubble screen right side and getting cut down. Well, breaking one tackle, but in the end, not able to break free was Verheil.
You know, I like the bubble screen in space, but you got to make sure that those Victor defenders are off before you try and run that. You know, that's a tough situation to catch a ball and have that Victor defender right in your face.
Yeah, there's going to be a loss of 2 on that. Loss of 1, we'll call it. 2nd down and 11. 8:40 remaining as Verheil going into motion. Verheil will get the call again. Verheil trying to cut it up across the 40 and up to the 41. A host of Victor defenders out there, including number 9, Trevor Knapp.
Trevor Knapp did a great job coming up and then breaking down to make the play. You know, the Victor defenders have got to get a good push. Okay, you've got to get that push to prevent that end around. Once he gets momentum to the corner, it's a tough person to stop.
That's a gain of 6 to bring up 3rd and 5. So can the Victor defense get off the field? Another 3rd down coming up for Canandaigua. Herod takes the snap. Handing off, going right up the gut. First down yardage, big gaping hole opened up. And Canandaigua's drive continuing. Once again, that's Camella, a gain of 7.
Third down conversions are critical, Gene, as we know. And right now the Braves are doing a good job of 3 plays, first down. 3 plays, first down. And when that happens, the defense starts getting tired, especially when they're not huddling. Right now, the Braves are looking at the sideline, getting a call from Coach Welch, and they're at it again.
So Canandaigua right back up at it. Very deliberate here on this drive. Again, Verhow going to motion, and Herod can't evade. He's going to go down for a loss.
You know, Gene, I thought the Victor defense did an outstanding job. Linebackers, you know, they didn't go with the backfield motion. The backfield motion went right. They ran to the far side of the field. But they did a great job, linebackers, reading your keys. The right guard and the right tackle for Canandaigua pulled and went left. The Blue Devils keyed in on it, and they made that stop for a loss.
Yeah, number 6, the defensive end, David Kelly, with the tackle there.
Did a nice job.
Yeah.
You know,
not getting sucked in on that.
He did not. He did not read the backfield motion. You know, the backers read their keys. That's good football.
Second down and 15. Herod rolling right. Now the backside screen. Lots of room here for Camella. Gets across the 50, the 45, the 40. First down. Beautiful play call. And that's going to be knocked out of bounds at the 39. A gain of 16.
Gene, we saw that earlier in the game. You got the quarterback rolling out to the right. You've got all kinds of flow going to the right. You got to make sure you stay home as a backside guy. We teach our linebackers in that backside, you know, safety or corner, whoever the coach assigns it, you've got to make sure you don't go with the flow. You got to stay home, and the Braves are taking advantage of that now.
Camella has made some big plays tonight, and that time bursting through. First and 10 at the 39. The snap, hand off to Camella once again. Camella lowering the shoulder, gets belted, and across the 35 down to the 31 for a gain of 7.
You know, you're seeing some fatigue. All of a sudden, you know, you know, the defense are going 100 miles an hour. Usually, if 2 equal teams are on the field, defense and offense, it's the defense that gets tired more quickly because they're the ones swarming to the ball. Okay, so what happens right now is the Braves are doing a good job of wearing the Blue Devils down.
6:10 remaining here. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Here's the snap. Play action. Throws on the run. That's going to be off the hands of the intended receiver. Just a little low there. Now is Verhow on the far side near the marker to bring up, what do you know, Jim, another third down.
Yeah, well, we'll see if the Blue Devils can hold him here. You know, I thought that the Canandaigua Braves have gotten really creative on their 3rd and 4, their 3rd and 3. You know, not just that off-tackle run. You know, you've seen end-around sweeps. You've seen some throws. So it'll be interesting to see what the Braves pull out here.
3rd down and 4. Clock stops with 5:59 remaining here in this third quarter. The snap, play action. Herod under pressure. Herod throws on the run. It's going to be intercepted. Pezzamenti. And he gets knocked out of bounds. Castiglia with the pressure there, and that forced Hera to make a bad decision.
Sam Castiglia, he was a defensive end for Victor. He kept his outside arm free. Joey is a free safety. He's deep. He read it coming all along. When you keep your free safety, that's why they call him a free safety. If you truly keep your free safety free, you allow them to go make plays. You want your defensive back making plays, and that's what happens. Great job by Victor.
Wow, Pezzamenti coming up big, and that is the definition of bend but don't break. That drive took well over 5 minutes there for Canandaigua. They come away with nothing, and now Victor on that return with the ball at the Canandaigua 47. Let's see if they go for a big shot here as James Knapp takes it. Screen, right side, throwing it to Russell. Russell gets it across the 45 and down to about the 42-yard line for a gain of 5.
I thought Alec Russell did a nice job looking the ball in. Sometimes those bubble screens are tough. You know that corner's coming. It's not a matter of if you're going to get hit. It's a matter of when. Look the ball in, get upfield, take the hit. You don't have to get a 10-yard gain. Just get that solid 5 yards for a 2nd and 5 position.
2nd down and 5. 5:18 and counting here today in this third quarter. Baker in the backfield.
I think they're checking to the bubble.
The snap, play action. Man, oh, and then the hit coming. Russell broken up the perfect time. Sam Bennett delivering the hit. Perfect timing.
You know, again, Gene, I agree with what you're saying. Perfect timing. These defensive backs from Canandaigua, they're not getting penalties, but they're timing up their hits really, really well. And I thought that was great football right there defensively.
You're not in 4-down territory, are you, here at the 42 on the 3rd and 5?
Well, I am. I mean, because I want the ball, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Here. But it's probably the smarter decision, if it gets to be 4th down, to put it in the corner and make the Braves have a long field.
Well, look at Canandaigua. They're cheating up like they think it's going to be a run. It is going to be the pitch to Baker, and Baker is going to be taken down. That's Canandaigua's number 34, Seth Vigneri, with the tackle. They guess right on that, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Seth Vigneri did a great job. Rashawn Baker put a move on him, but again, it's those shoestring tackles. Sometimes when you have a good athlete like Rashawn with the ball in his hands, you're just hoping to get a piece of him to slow him down, and he did that time.
Well, so far, Victor is signaling like they're going to go for it here. They have all their timeouts remaining. The play clock is down to 14, and it'll be James Knapp coming out as the quarterback once again. Baker in the backfield. Play clock now at 5. Knapp waiting the snap. Takes the snap on 4th down. Knapp under pressure, evading it. Knapp throws across his body. That's going to be incomplete. So great pressure there by Canandaigua. Not much Knapp could do, and Victor turning it over downs. And we have a player that is down for Victor, and that is going to be James Knapp. Oh, my goodness. So James Knapp down.
Gene, right there, Victor being aggressive, because guess what? Who was it? John Madden always said, he goes, when you run, either you run a prevent defense or you get too conservative on offense, that's what loses you a game. So I think it's good for Victor. Let's go for it on 4th down. Let's set the tempo. We want to retain the ball, keep our momentum going. And, sometimes you live by the sword, you die by the sword. So right now, they're going to be on defense here.
Well, Knapp, as he was took a hit right at the end, and now he's helped to his feet. Able to walk off, great sign. And again, the Canandaigua defense, they force the 3 and out. And then for Victor, after you get a big takeaway, not able to do anything with it. 1st and 10 for the Braves. This time their drive starting out just shy of the 41.
Wouldn't be surprised to see, Canandaigua get a little more aggressive because they realize they have to score twice, in just a quarter and 4 minutes.
Dominic Camella getting the handoff, and Camella's going to be mowed down in the backfield, shooting the gas. Timmy Kahane with the tackle for the loss.
That's what you call read and react. I thought Timmy Kahane did a great job at that. Of course, he's got, for Victor, number 72 in front of him. Michael Bowman did a great job, and also Connor Williams. These guys are occupying players, which is what you want to do as a defensive lineman, so your linebackers can go make plays.
2nd down and long. 2nd down and 12. And going to motion is Bennett. Bennett on the end around, and then Bennett is going to be, Castiglia had him, let him go, but in the end, it's still going to be a small loss on the play.
Again, you want your defensive ends to come upfield and be aggressive and make plays. And I'm telling you, the inside tackles for Victor right now are occupying people. They might be getting double teamed. We're not calling the defensive tackles names for making tackles, but in modern football, they're really not supposed to. You want them to occupy people so the rest of the defense can flow and make plays.
3rd down and 13 at the 38. 4 wide receivers. Man going into motion is Verheil. And a penalty coming up, and I think Verheil was cutting up field if I want see that right. This is on Verheil for the illegal motion.
Gene, I agree. I think he started heading what we call heading north a little too early. When you're in motion, you want to keep going east and west. I think he kind of took that lean to his right. He started heading north, and of course that's going to be considered an illegal procedure. Or false start. There it is.
False start against Canada.
And we have a player that's cramping up, it appears, on the far side for Victor, and it's number 22, Shea Newell.
Victor declines the penalty, brings up 4th down.
Yep, first game of the year. Always see some cramping.
Yeah, Shea Newell, his motor runs. He's one of my lacrosse kids. He's just all over the field.
Now, of course, Victor will decline that, and that's going to force Canandaigua to punt with 2:58 remaining in the third. No scoring here in the third. All the scoring came in the first half, 24-14. Victor with the advantage. Verheil to boom this away. High snap, in trouble, Verheil. Oh, he's going to decide to take it himself, and then he's wrestled out of bounds. And Coach, I know that was a high snap, but I thought Verheil had enough time to at least get some pooch off there.
You know, I did. I thought he could have handled the snap, but again, you know, from this angle, it looked like it was a little bit too far to his right. You know, as a punter, I always teach my kids, expect the unexpected. You know, but before you know, don't just think about where you're going to punt the ball. Think about fielding and catching the ball first, because this is not the NFL. You're not going to get a perfect snap. But again, the Blue Devils capitalize on this. Without question, I think they're in 4-down territory, and we'll see what they come out with here.
Well, let's see if looking for the proverbial knockout punch here, because 17 heading into the fourth quarter would be tough for any team to overcome on the road. James Knapp was shaken up. Good to see him back out there as he's going to pitch it to Pezzamenti. Pezzamenti goes head over heels. Gets upended by his number 34 counterpart there, Seth Vigneri.
Ball was carried by number 34, Joey Pezzamenti. Tackle by number 34, Seth Vigneri.
Yeah, Seth McNary, he came up, but they also, again, the Canandaigua linebackers swarmed to the ball. You could see him hit, you know, Joey high, hit him low. That got him almost rotating in the air right there. But again, you know, Victor offense, this offensive line gets going, sustains the drive. It's going to be trouble for the Braves.
Second down and 8 after the gain of 2 by Pezzamenti. Pezzamenti with a touchdown tonight, also an interception. Pitch going to Baker. Baker cutting it up, and Baker will get it down to about the 31 for a gain of 3.
When you are a tailback and you're on that right hash, you know, you enjoy that wide side of the field because it gives you lots of room to work.
And Baker shaken up on this play.
Ian Hurlbert, he is the athletic trainer for Victor. He just does an outstanding job taking care of these kids. You know, it's amazing how many athletes Victor has, but yet Ian knows almost all of them by name, and it's just amazing what these athletic trainers do here at the high school level.
Well, with the injury, as Baker getting stretched out, we'll take a break as well. We're so glad you're watching here tonight. Give us a follow on Twitter at Varsity Media. You're watching the Section 5 football game of the week on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Strength and Conditioning, Sports Academy of Victor, Advent Automotive, Opera Hills Floral Gifts, Auction Direct, So's Print, Ewing Graphics, Dorshel Automotive, and Victor Pest Management.
Third down and 5 for the Blue Devils as they're down to the Canandaigua 31. Clock is back started once again here. And the handoff, and good gap control there. Coming through was number 36, J.C. Clifford for the tackle.
You know, you're almost in a nothing to lose mentality when it's 35 because you know Victor's got 2 downs to get that first down. So I thought it was great of Canandaigua. Creep up your linebackers. Let's go ahead. Let's send the front 4. We have faith in our defensive backs to cover people when needed. And it puts Victor in more of a 4th and 7 here, Gene, so we'll see what they come out with.
Well, so for Victor, though, you're keeping the door open. You've had now 2 drives that have started in Canandaigua territory here in the third quarter, and now they're faced with a 4th down.
I agree. You're not quite in the red zone, but you want to finish these drives.
Here's the snap. Knapp. He's throwing end zone. He wants a man. Russell, and gets it down with the PI call. That's going to be called against number 2, Sam Bennett, and the drive will continue.
Remember, here in high school, that's a 15-yard penalty. It's a first down for Victor, and that's exactly what they wanted to keep this drive alive.
And now Russell is shaken up.
An injury timeout.
As he is just simply seated on the field. So with that, they will spot the ball down to the 7-yard line. 33 seconds remaining here. And Jim, I don't know if you ever had a cramp. It's not a fun feeling, I'll tell you that. It'll stop you dead in your tracks.
You know, and you can hydrate all day. The coaches, we tell the kids, push the fluids. But still, once you get out there and you're an athlete and you just start sweating, you know, these things are going to happen.
So with the first down, 1st and 10, let's see where they're. I said it was going to be at the 7. Where do they spot it? And the official telling Victor to back up here, sideline advisement. Ball will be spotted at the 17 after the 15-yard penalty. James Knapp, 2 touchdowns tonight under center. Knapp will hand it off, and then getting knocked down. There's the Canandaigua defense. There's no quitting these kids. Ryan Welsh delivering that hit, and if Victor wants to, they can take it to the quarter, and looks like that's what they're going to do here.
It looks like Canandaigua wants actually a 5-man front, almost shading a nose guard. From this angle, it's tough to see. Maybe I'll get a better look at it from the other end here. But, you know, Canandaigua is definitely pushing up to see what's happening.
And we will go to the 4th quarter. The Teddi Bowl here. And our halftime score remains the score as we head to the 4th. Victor up by 10, 24-14 against Canandaigua. We're so glad you're watching here tonight. The season opener on the Section 5 football game of the week on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You know, this game to us is special because of Camp Good Days and the kids were able to help.
It's for something bigger than just the game. These kids, they go through a lot more than we do, and we want to make it the best experience for them and everyone else.
Playing in this game, it's more than just playing for football. It's playing for these kids that go through a lot more than we do, and we're just happy to do it and hope a lot of people come out, and it's a great game.
It's great what Camp Good Days does for the bigger picture for these kids. It's just a great time all together.
It's a huge rivalry that's been there for a long time, and it's great what Camp Good Days does for these kids. And
Continue with our sponsors. Vanderstein Toyota, New York Bus Sales, Bristol's Garden Center, Paris Beach, Triad Network Technologies, Lakeside ENT and Allergy, Campus Construction.
We go to the 4th. Ball is on the 19 after the loss of 2, 2nd down and 11.
Kennedy Mechanical Contractors, IEC Electronics, Pinnacle Athletics,
Well, Gene, we would definitely consider this the red zone here. And again, when that field gets shorter, it gives the defense less field to guard here. So sometimes it looks like you're close to the end zone, but sometimes these are the toughest yards to get. So we'll see what Victor comes up with here.
12 minutes to go here. Season opener. It's become a new tradition here for Victor to open up with the Teddi Bowl. Canandaigua, the neighboring town. Here is the pass. It's going to go to the end zone. James Knapp going, and it's stripped away. Again, Sam Pennon with another big play. This time Ethan Roberts, the intended receiver.
I thought Ethan Roberts ran a really nice pattern right there. Sometimes attention has gone to some other receivers, but you know, Ethan Roberts, very athletic kid. He ran a great pattern, and again, these defensive backs from Canandaigua are making the right reads.
So now we'll bring up 3rd and 11. Canandaigua's defense giving the team a shot here. And again, Victor has a place kicker. If they want to take the 3, they'll have that shot if they want to here. The ball in the 19. 3rd and 11. Knapp, play action. Rolling left, looks a little busted there. He's just going to flick it out. He's going to find Baker. Baker bowling over a defender, gets inside the 10, awfully close to a 1st down.
Gene, would you classify that as a shovel pass? It almost looked like his elbow was down, kind of a forward flick. Looked good.
Yeah.
Sean Baker found the right spot.
All right, are they going to measure it, or are they just going to give it here? They're going to give it to him. Big conversion there for Baker.
1st and goal for the Blue Devils, and they're up by 10. This is this is very important for Canandaigua to get, not just a stop, but a big play here if they're going to stay in this game.
Shane Newell is the fullback. And the call is going to go to Pezzamenti, and then Pezzamenti will get cut down. No gain on the play.
As much as the Blue Devils want to score, as a coach, you always want to find that end zone. It's okay to run that clock. So all of a sudden you're not quite in the end zone yet. Sometimes getting the end zone 3 plays later might be even better for the Blue Devils.
Yeah, Victor has all their timeouts remaining, but by virtue of that not happening, that's going to click off another 30 seconds here. Victor approaching the line now with 13 remaining on the play clock. Man going to motion, James Knapp pitching, left side, Pezzamenti trying to make a cut, but might have lost his footing there, not sure. And regardless, that's back to the original line of scrimmage. And the bright side here, you take off more time off the play clock. Well, now they're going to, indeed, it is Pezzamenti taking his helmet off, and he's immediately reaching for his right leg, so it looks like another cramping issue.
Gene, as we look at, a high school defense, I think every defense has its strength. Without question, I think this Canandaigua defense, their ability to flow laterally has been just outstanding, and their defense of backs have been outstanding. So this Canandaigua team, they may be down by 10, but this is a very, very good football team, and obviously through the score, Victor is showing what they can do. I would not be surprised if this is kind of some foreshadowing to what we could be seeing, later in the year.
Connor Williams leading that front here, number 50, the center. Well, he's going to be lined up at the left side here at the left tackle.
It's almost an unbalanced look out of Victor, as they've got 3 ineligible guys. You got 58, looks like 74, and 50, Connor at the tight end. It's almost an unbalanced look to the left for the Blue Devils.
3rd and 6, 3rd and goal from the 6. Knapp handing it off. And then trying to break tackles there is Shawnee Baker. Shawnee Baker nowhere to go.
Again, this defensive frontage for Canandaigua, I mentioned them in the beginning for key success for Canandaigua. And right now, that front four, they're penetrating and they're making plays. Now I'm looking for that second guy in for the Braves to try and punch that ball free to make a big play to spark that Canandaigua Brave team.
Well, a 10-point lead, 13 doesn't do you all that much here. So worst case scenario, Canandaigua is going to get it deep in their own end. Victor looking for the knockout punch, wanting to go up by 17. 4th and goal. James Knapp in the pocket. Backside pass. Throws. End zone. Touchdown.
There it is, Gene. You saw it again. Victor rolling out to the right because those Canandaigua defensive backs and linebackers are aggressive. They all flow to the right. The quarterback, Victor, James Knapp, turns left, throws it, and finds his receiver in the corner of the end zone.
Mark Odie, the tight end, his first reception tonight, coming on 4th and goal from the 6. That puts up Victor by 16 with the extra point coming up.
His first varsity catch for Mark Odie. He did a great job finding that corner. And I thought the quarterback, James Knapp, did an outstanding job also. The Victor offensive line all shuffled to the right. It was well timed.
Sam Castiglia, extra point attempt. No doubt about it. He drills it. We'll keep it right here. 31-14. And for Canandaigua's defense, boy, those kids came up time and time again here in the second half, but just one more play, they couldn't come up with it.
When you're down by a couple scores, consistency is good, but you got to make a play. You've got to cause that fumble. You got to cause that, interception. And right now, that's where Canandaigua is. They are forced to make plays right now. It'll be interesting to see what they come out with.
Yeah, they're going to have to take some risk here. As the biggest play on offense tonight was a 16-yard pass to Camella. So it's been just 2 big plays tonight for Canandaigua, one being the 95-yard kickoff return, the other being the interception by Verhoeven that gave Canandaigua a 1st and goal at the 8.
Gene, I agree. If Canandaigua is going to find success and if Canandaigua wants to rise to the team that they believe they can be, they got to spread the field. You got to make big plays in high school if you're going to compete and be there in the end for that sectional block.
Watching the Canandaigua cheerleaders here, all of them can do a backflip.
Yeah, athletes,
yeah.
Cheerleaders today.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're athletic. They work hard. They're in the weight room, and I know our Victor girls do great things. They work very hard at their sport.
To put an end to cancer by the end of the decade.
Great feel out here tonight at Victor.
by signing the petition here tonight or join online at
Having fun, Jim? You're a natural at this. You've got a second career if you want to do this, bud.
Well, you know, it's funny. I've been getting some texts from friends, and even the mother-in-law improved. My gosh, I mean, that's a huge step forward for me. So, yeah, that's pretty exciting stuff.
Here's the squib kick, and ooh, that's live. I think it was touched. Still alive, and that's going to be in the end. Not a good return for Canandaigua. That's going to be downed inside the 20.
Maybe in the spring, I'll get a headset. I'll come up here in the booth. It's a little less nerve-wracking than being on the sideline for a varsity game as head coach. You know, this feels a little less stressful.
Oh yeah, you can second guess coaches.
Oh, absolutely. I'm an
I'm
an expert up here in the booth. Of course, when I'm on the sideline, you know, everybody in the world, you're getting second guess. But up here, yeah, we know everything.
Let's second guess Jeff Mandel here.
Why
Absolutely.
not? Let's go.
Yeah. Here's Herod, who now is going to throw on the run, and that's going to be caught. Bennett's had a nice game here on both sides of the ball. He'll catch that and get up across the 25, and they will give it to him, a 10-yard reception and a first down.
You know, often you talk about high school receivers hearing footsteps. In other words, they know that defender is going to hit them, and they sometimes drop the ball. I think Canandaigua's done a great job of looking the ball in and being very, very solid in their passing game.
And put Casey Herod up to 76 yards through the air tonight. Herod takes the snap. He's rolling to his left, throws on the run, and that's going to be incomplete. Pesamenti in on the coverage.
You know, again, when your free safety's free, good things can happen. You know, as a defensive back, you rely on your corners, you rely on your strong safety. You work together as a unit, and I'm seeing that tonight out of Victor. They're relying on each other, and you know the guy next to you is going to make plays. It allows you to be an athlete too.
Second down and 10.
Office at 585-624-5555. We'd also like to thank Ewing Graphics for their support.
Urlacher will be the receiver to the near side.
EwingGraphics.com.
Urlacher's a kid in space. I know he plays defense during the lacrosse season. He is just a tough, hard-nosed kid. I know Devin York is head coach on lacrosse, always compliments that kid on just what a hard worker he is and how intense he is.
Out of the shotgun. Takes the snap, and keeping himself will be Herod, and Herod is cut down. Across the 25 up to the 26, back to the original line of scrimmage.
Cam Hay closed in real quickly, and I just saw him make that tackle. And it was really interesting to see such a great 45-degree angle he took.
Helping out on the tackle, number 22, Shane Newell.
Here's the snap, handoff, backside, and then that's going to be cutting up and the flag coming down. And this will be holding, you would think, against Canandaigua. Shane Newell a little slow to get up. He's actually holding his wrist there.
You know, again, I'm seeing great flow out of this Victor linebacking crew. You know, they're getting great penetration up front. Connor Williams, I'm really impressed with his play tonight. This kid is getting out of his stance. He's a young man that's 6'11", 390. But I'm seeing him get out of his stance and get upfield in a hurry. And I think there's gonna be a lot more Connor Williams talked about in Section 5.
Meanwhile, on the sideline, Newell appears to be in a great deal of pain as they're checking him out. Trainer's looking at him as now this will be third down and very long, third down and 19, as now the handoff is going to go to Verheil. Verheil gets ahead of Steen, gets back those penalty yards, but needed a lot more here on fourth down. Canandaigua essentially waving a white flag down by 17. They're going to have to punt it away here with 8:10 remaining.
You know, if the Blue Devils can field this punt, put together a drive, I think they're going to get that win tonight. You know, Canandaigua, still a very good football team. Just some things just haven't gone their way.
Another returner not deep back here for Victor. Almost thinking that just playing it safe. It's going to be Verheil who will get this off. It's Pesamenti just letting that one go out of bounds, and which it will. Rolling out of bounds at the 44. So that's a 34-yard punt with no return, and with 7:39 remaining here, in this fourth quarter. Now Victor,
I want to thank our
I don't know, you're not even putting it up in the air here at this point, right?
No, without question, Gene. The Blue Devils are going to do what they do. They're going to ground and pound, run that clock. The clock is their friend as long as they keep it moving. You're telling your quarterback and your backs, listen, stay in bounds, protect yourself, and just let the clock run.
First and 10 at the 44. James Knapp, who has 2 touchdowns tonight. Shawnee Baker, ooh, nearly going big, but we're going to have a flag coming in for the backside.
Again, you start seeing Canandaigua roll the dice. They've got their linebackers creeped up. Their defensive line is getting really aggressive. They're shooting gaps instead of taking guys. When you roll the dice, all of a sudden, what could be a 2-yard stop could be a 10-yard gain. But the Braves are fortunate that the Blue Devils get a holding call here.
If you look back at this game for Canandaigua, it's a couple big plays, right? I mean, they've done a great job, but you give up a big play to Shawnee Baker, 72 yards. You give up the big play, 55 yards to Pesamenti. Those are the 2 plays that stick out here tonight.
Canandaigua will break down this film. They're going to learn from it. They're going to identify, the small areas where they need to improve. And this game's going to be a lot closer. With a little bit of improvement from the Braves, this game's going to be closer.
Sam Castiglia will come off of the field, and then coming on out will be Joel Haurashuk. Clock starting back up with 7:20 remaining here tonight. The snap, the handoff going right up the middle. It's Baker again, galloping, and one of his own guys gets in his way. Baker gets tracked down from behind by Bennett. Another big run by Shawnee Baker.
Gene, it's instant replay. The Canandaigua Braves, they're putting what some coaches call 8 in the box. That means they want to get 8 guys of the 11 right near the line of scrimmage. The good news is you might get that 1-yard stop, or you might get a tackle for loss. The bad news is if he gets through the traffic, it turns into a big play, and you just saw that happen.
35-yard run for Shawnee Baker. And that flips the field here. Now it's going to be down to the 29-yard line. 6:39 remaining. 31-14. Just the 1 touchdown by Victor in the second half. The only scoring is Baker getting the call once again, and this time coming in for the tackle will be number 60, Lucas Malcolmson.
Gene, you're seeing Victor come in with that 2 tight end set. They want to spread out that defensive frontage. That's going to create more gaps as Canandaigua puts 8 guys in the box.
So it'll be Brendan Popolak coming out here. He's going to get a call here in the fourth quarter here in the backfield. 2 tight ends. 2nd down and 9. Popolak going right between the tackles, and he'll be brought down from behind by Jackson Neiman. Not after a gain of 7, however, to bring up 3rd and short.
Here you're seeing some of the depth on the Victor bench. Popolak is a great athlete. He's quick. He hits that hole. It just goes to show you that when they get in a game like this is what helps you get many guys healthy into the postseason. You want to get the ball in different hands when you know you got the game secured.
Bringing the play clock down now, down to 12 is James Knapp. Doing a great job at the quarterback position tonight. Play clock now down to 5. Takes the snap. Popolak getting the call once again. And that line will get a push, but it's going to be a yard short to bring up 4th and 1, as this will now bring us under 5 minutes to go here tonight.
Gene, it's nice having that play clock right where the quarterback can see it. Quite often the quarterback's looking over his shoulder to look at the coach, who will then all of a sudden give him the signal to go ahead and start calling it. But clock management is critical in games like this, and Victor's doing a real nice job. Run the ball, run the clock down. 18 seconds on the play clock, and they're going to wait till it gets under 3 or 4 before they snap it.
Alec Russell to the far side. Near boundary is going to be Ethan Roberts on 4th down. And then the read option, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. Well, it's not the strangest thing in the world. And again, another tackle there by Lucas Malcolmson. So Canandaigua's defense is playing with heart here tonight, and Braves offense will get another chance here with 4:27 remaining, all their timeouts remaining as well.
Well, we talked in the beginning, the defensive line for Canandaigua is going to be one of their strengths, and let's face it, they're only going to get better throughout the season. The first game is a great indicator of where they're at, but at the end of the season, I really believe Canandaigua is going to get better every game.
1st and 10 of the 21, and here will be the handoff, and nothing right up the middle.
Connor Williams, I don't know if you call that tackling someone or engulfing them. He just kind of wrapped the guy up, brought him down, and you just got to see some of his athleticism. I mean, Connor's a basketball player. He moves his feet. We're expecting great things out of him this year.
Yeah, 390. That's some size there. I would not want to be blocking that. Under 4 minutes to go here tonight.
And he's moving.
Hera to hand off here, and going right up the middle, not much again. And yeah, Canandaigua just kind of playing it out here.
Gain of a couple, it'll be 3rd down.
Mathis will check out. Checking back in will be, beg your pardon, Ryan Welch will check out. It'll be Sam Bennett checking in.
And we're still seeing Canandaigua spread the field, even though they've been running it.
Here will be Herod. And we'll get it forward, and that's a quick 3 and out here for the Braves, and they'll just punt it away.
I think once again you'll see 11 Victor players near the line of scrimmage. Let Canandaigua punt it, let it roll.
Now, what are we getting a flag here for?
I saw some extracurricular on the far sideline. Again, let's not forget, we have two teams, have been longtime rivals, Finger Lakes rivals. The Canandaigua kids always get up to play Victor and vice versa. Victor always gets up to play Canandaigua. So I'm not surprised that there's going to be some emotions here at the end of the game.
Well, the whole regular season now, it's all going to be teams that you will be facing potentially come sectional time. What do you think of the new rule here, Coach?
I like the idea of federation scheduling because it keeps teams, schools of equal size playing each other. I got to admit, I still like giving coaches flexibility to create their schedule. I know for me, I like to find, we have great teams here in Section 5, but I know I'd like the ability to go, and kind of freelance and get some different competition on my schedule.
I'll give Canandaigua the automatic 1st down. Well, for like a program like Victor that over the years, as you know, you've been up, you've been down, you like facing Pittsford or Fairport. That doesn't scare Victor.
Well, those are still those are larger schools, and they've always got great athletes. Whether it's football, no matter what sport you're talking about, I think it's always great to get your players to face great competition.
No doubt. We're down to 2:35 remaining here tonight on the loss. Herod out of the shotgun, faking the handoff on the end around to Verheil, keeping himself, and Cam Hay tracking down his man for a loss of 1 on the play.
Once again, you said Cam Hay tracking people down. Our linebackers are doing a great job of taking the appropriate angles. It's good to be aggressive as a linebacker, but if you take the wrong angle, if you make the wrong read, all of a sudden you're running by people, then you're not helping. You got to be able to break down, see where you got to go make the play and then go do it.
3rd down and 13. Another end around. This is Bennett this time, and Bennett is just upended, just belted Timmy Kahane with the tackle. Now Canandaigua to officially punt this away, and then we're a few victory formations away. Boy, another Bennett here too. If you win on a Thursday night, you get that extra day here at prep time.
The extra day in football certainly makes a difference. We saw Timmy Kahane come up. That's really his signature move from a defensive back. He loves making those open field tackles. He loves breaking down. You see how low he gets, wraps the legs, keeps his head up so he's tackling safe. And I thought that was just a great defensive play.
So the play clock winding down. I'm not sure. Yeah, so Canandaigua just happy to let this go as Verheil, nobody back to return this, and that'll roll out of bounds at the 31. And now a couple kneel downs away here for the Blue Devils and the fans here tonight. What a great start to the season here for Victor.
This is a great win versus a great opponent. Victor's got to carry this into next week and beyond. You know, as coaches, they can always look back if they're ever in a situation where they're down in a game. You can look back and say, listen, we played one of the toughest teams, Canandaigua. We executed. This is the team we can be when we're firing on all cylinders. We're doing a great job offensively, and we're doing a great job defensively. Good things can happen for us. And here they are in their victory formation.
Yeah, 3 men are back as to protect here. As James Knapp to take the snap and then kneel it down, and he'll do this one more time, as they'll have to get it under the 37 seconds. And for Canandaigua, too, I mean, this is a team that you may face come the sectional
Without
time.
question. And I'm telling you right now, you know, as a coach, you're very reflective, and you think about what are the things, you know, that we can fix. And when you look at Canandaigua, when you look at the Braves right now, the mistakes they're making, they are correctable. And I do think they've got the athletic base. I do believe they got the guys up front. I do believe Canandaigua, you know, has the tools to be a contender at the end of the season. But it's just a matter of Coach Welch putting the pieces together. He's a great coach, and I'm sure he'll do that. I got a funny feeling these two teams could see each other again. But who knows, Gene? Maybe you'll give me another invite to come back and call it with you again. I don't know. But this has been a heck of a lot of fun for me.
Yeah, it was. As the final seconds will tick away here, the Teddi Bowl, and as we wrap up, there's something bigger going on here tonight. Just keep in mind that money was raised, awareness was raised. What a great cause here tonight for Camp Good Days and Special Time.
The Teddi Bowl, it was exciting, a great crowd, again, for a great cause. You know, the honorary captains, there was some great press, you know, previous to the game. So there was just so many things going on leading up to this game. Two close communities right near each other bordering. You know, there was a couple years there, Gene, where Victor did not play Canandaigua. And I'm so glad that this is back.
Well, tonight, Victor's players made the big plays tonight. You had the 72-yard run, touchdown run by Baker. You had Pezzamenti, a 55-yard screen he took to the house. You had Pezzamenti also catching that interception as well. And you had your quarterback, Knapp, tonight. Look, his first pass attempt, interception, shook it right off, and you played great the rest of the way.
You know, what I saw to Knapp, it was maturity in a year. You know, last year, you know, he kind of struggled in this game versus Canandaigua. You know, it was big. It was his first start. This year, he just took it to another level. The entire Victor Blue Devil team, I think, took it to another level.
Well, Jim, it was a pleasure working with you
Gene,
here
I love
tonight.
being here.
This is great. So, first of many here tonight, and we're so glad. Look, keep logging on to Varsity Media. We'll keep you updated as far as where will be the Section 5 season. Plenty of people to thank on the broadcast tonight, including Joel Bethazer, our director, keeping us in check here tonight. Ben Turchin back at command. And for the entire team here at Varsity Media, for Jim Andre, my name is Gene Battaglia. Once again, our final score here in the Teddi Bowl tonight. Victor getting off to a 1-0 start. Victor over Canandaigua by a 31-14 score. Thank you for logging on here tonight. Have a good night from Victor.